and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins.
I'm number two. I'm number two.
Hi, am I 3 or 1?
One, because your name came first.
Whoa. Well, no, Dave's came first.
Oh, yeah.
True.
I'm number 3.
I'm always number 1. Yay!
What a narcissist.
Well, yes.
So good to be here. So good to be alive, actually. Well, let me rephrase that. How good is it to be alive?
We always start
nice.
with a question, and there it is. How good is it to be alive?
It's good to approach life with curiosity. And instead of just sort of projecting your own thoughts onto it and saying it's good to be alive, you've thought, no, I'll put it out there.
Yeah,
How good is it to be alive?
Finish every sentence with an upward inflection.
Yeah, and then you're Australian. And
And inquisitive.
personally wish I was never born.
Great. Great to hear from you. And should I explain how the show works?
Please.
Basically, what we do here at Do Go On is take it in turns to report on a topic often suggested to us by one of the listeners. We go away, do a little bit of research, then bring it back to the group in the form of a report. And the two people not reporting, they never know what the topic's going to be. It's always a little secret, which is a little bit of fun.
A sexy secret.
Well, it could be. We don't know. Because it's Matt's turn to report. And
he's the sexy one.
Typically his reports are very sexy.
He's a sexy man.
Especially if he's talking about something French. Now, we always start with a question to get us onto the topic. Matt, do you have a question to ask?
Sure do. This is a two-parter. So there's a key place where this takes place. Key place where this takes place.
Great start.
Real good start.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. New listeners are turning off in their droves. But anyway, so the question, two-parter, so it's a 2-word answer. Number 1, what is the most isolated capital city in the world?
Perth.
Correct. Number 2.
you, Dave.
State capital, or are we talking about national capital cities? Come on.
Well, he said I'm correct, so it's a state capital.
Okay.
It's a capital city.
Any capital. It's just what it, yeah.
Fuck you, Dave.
And the second part, what is defined as an aromatic plant native to temperate regions of the old world, several kinds of which are used as culinary herbs? So it's the Perth.
Herb.
Wattle.
It's a building. It's a place.
Oh. It's a building. But
Yeah.
it's also a type of...
Well, no, the word
Plant.
is. So it's a place. The Perth.
Rose. Mint.
Yes, correct. Well done, Dave. So I guess half a point each,
Great, I'll take that.
or full points to Dave. I'm not sure.
No, I reckon it's either maybe a point each to keep that spreadsheet.
Okay.
Is it Bob who keeps track?
Yeah,
Yes,
There's
thank you,
no,
Bob.
We don't want to
I
make
don't
it
think
too
there's decimals
complicated.
in that. So
I'm
yeah,
happy to
point
give-
each.
Love that. Points around. The Perth Mint.
The Perth Mint Swindle is this week's topic.
I put this up for the vote before.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, exciting!
Well, this is what I put up.
But I didn't look into it. I got the 1-sentence summary, and I thought that's all I need to know.
Okay.
Patreon will decide, but they didn't want it that week. But maybe they do want it this week.
Well,
Dave's
obviously they do.
reaction just sounded like Ned Flanders seeing his plant die.
Yeah.
But anyway. So, yeah, a couple of people have suggested this. Troy from Perth and also Aaron Price from Perth.
Okay.
Big story in Perth. I put up, so I've been away on tour for the last few weeks at the time of recording. And
we've missed you.
I've built up
Okay, he
a
ignored
list.
me.
And I missed you too. And I built up a list of 8 options, and this got a quarter of the vote.
8.
8.
So, like, double, mathematically speaking, you got a quarter of the vote means about double its
It's fair share.
its fair share.
If it was fair.
Wow.
Greedy.
But it wasn't fair.
I just want to say to the Patreons, don't get used to getting 8 options.
Well, that's what, because Jess and I have spoken maybe even recently
Very recently, yeah.
that we often spend hours just staring at the spreadsheet of Jack and Hat McVitie because there's 12,000 suggestions and it's a lot of pressure because you got to make sure there's enough in it. Like when I put this one up, there's a sentence there. Okay, yeah, I know the sources exist. Okay, I won't read into it too much.
My first thing is usually like, is there a Wikipedia page?
And if there isn't, you're hoping for like a long form.
A
variety
real article,
a GQ,
a documentary series
something
or something.
accessible on YouTube.
Exactly right. Yeah.
It happened in your own personal life.
Yes, stuff like
We
that.
can bring knowledge.
But it can take hours, so that's impressive.
8, good on you.
And a lot of votes. So the people want to hear about a swindle this week.
They do, yes. I love the word swindle.
Me too.
Shall I get into it?
What do you reckon, Dave? Are you ready, or did you want to just have some bit of chit
I'm
chat?
gonna have another drink if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
glug.
All right,
There we
glug.
go. Yep. Okay.
I'm ready.
You sound refreshed. All right. So I'm taking you to the 22nd of June, 1982.
Where were you?
Me?
Yeah.
Not alive.
Okay.
Dave?
Also not alive.
Yeah, I'm 2 days older than you. So.
I think I was probably shopping around for my new old folks' home.
Yeah. Because I think you moved in 83, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
Into the new old folks' home.
And the last one shut down when you outlived all the other residents?
I outlived all the residents and the owner.
Yeah, and all the staff.
And he opened it as a baby when he inherited it from his dad. So, yeah.
For new listeners, Matt is very old.
Old as the wind. Or older than the wind, some say.
So 1982. Sorry.
Only
1982.
canonically. In real life, he's like a totally normal, cool age.
Yeah, the coolest age of all. A billion.
Whatever age you think is cool, that's what he is.
So, the 22nd of June, 1982, the Perth Mint received phone calls from 3 men who identified themselves as Bob Fryer, Mr. York, and Mr. Blackwood. The 3 wealthy...
Bob gave away a lot more than the other. He said, hey, it's Bob Fryer. And then I was like, that was Mr. York. Oh, we're not doing first names? Oh, fucking hell.
Fuck.
Sorry,
Great.
let me try again. This is Mr. Fryer. Well, I know it's you, Bob. Hang up and start again.
All right, how about this? I'm Mr. B. John Fryer. Oh,
No, okay. I'm an anonymous man of 192 Fuller's Road.
If you need to get in contact.
right.
Damn it.
Okay, no. So, yeah, Bob Fryer, Mr. York, Mr. Blackwood. These 3 wealthy businessmen each put in an order for gold bullion. Between them, they order a total of 49 bars of gold with a value of $653,000.
Yeah, I'll just order one more. 49?
Surely a case is 50.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
Case.
Just give us a case.
How
of
do
gold.
they sell them?
Yeah.
Surely it's like, fish and chip rules. Throw in it. Just
Yeah.
throw it in.
I've
Yeah,
asked
like-
for 4 potato cakes, but really give me 5.
Yeah.
Like
come
a
on.
baker's dozen.
Yeah, round it
This
up.
should be a banker's 50,
Yeah.
I think.
Give
So,
us a banker's 50. 49 plus change.
For 600 and what?
$653,000. So this is in 1982 money. It's over $6 million these days.
Wow.
Holy
It's a
shit.
big chunk of change.
So you can see this is a big difference between 49 and 50.
Yes. Yeah, they're like, this is all they could scrounge.
Yeah.
Shortly after, a guard representing each buyer arrived in their own separate armoured vehicle. All 3 transactions were made between 1:15 and 2:15 that afternoon.
Beautiful. Just after lunch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've got their own private vehicles?
Yeah.
That's
Of course.
amazing.
Well, you're ordering gold in bulk.
Yeah.
You're doing okay. Okay, I can only order gold in like pieces about this big, and they come in packs of 20.
Oh, little pellets.
Yeah,
Just as holding up the size of what...
a $1 coin.
yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do with those?
I put them in the washing machine,
Uh-huh.
and then I
Laundering money, huh?
bit of fun.
We're having fun here early. Good signs.
Bodes well.
Birds are
well.
very wow.
We talked for way too long before starting recording.
We've been here for nearly 2 hours.
It's now it's lunchtime and we've just started. So this is it's not gonna go well.
We should roll on it and just put it all out one time.
Yeah.
So people can see how inane we really are.
No.
They're like, geez, they go on tedious tangents on the show. You should hear off
my
the
God,
show.
you should hear off the show. It's
If
crazy.
you want to hear tedious, we can show you tedious.
Unfortunately, we just like to catch up.
Matt showed us his elbow before.
That's how
Look at this.
Jess and I were trying to remember things from maths. Anyway, now we are doing the tediousness
Okay,
of it.
so 3 trucks have backed up to take their cut of the bars.
Yeah, spread over an hour's period.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, love it.
According to Andrea Mays, writing for the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, each presented a building society check to the Mint for the precious metal, which were accepted, and the bullion was duly handed over. Okay.
Great.
How do you feel about this as a transaction?
Honestly, seems to me completely legit and above board, and I
have
think
they-
this is going to be quite a short
Yeah.
episode.
Have they called up together, or did they just happen to call a similar time and say, hey, we'll be there within the hour? They don't know each other, or they are 3?
I think as far as everyone's concerned, it was 3 separate
3 separate guys
transactions.
just happened to call up for gold that day.
But given that the title is the Perth Mint Swindle, I'm thinking these aren't legitimate checks or legitimate customers. That's what I'm thinking. But that's just because I've watched a lot of like true crime stuff and like Criminal Minds and stuff like that.
You have a Criminal Mind.
I
don't you?
have a Criminal Mind.
That's what happens if you watch enough of Criminal Minds.
You get one.
You get one.
You get one. I've watched all the seasons. I've got a Criminal Mind.
Yeah.
I've also watched all of New Girl and Parks and Rec. So I also have a New Girl and a Park and a Rec.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. That's just what I'm thinking, but I understand you probably wouldn't have put that together yet. But that's, sorry to ruin it, Matt, but I think it's probably not legit.
No, I'm more of an NCIS man, so I'm waiting for the Navy to arrive.
Okay. Well, I couldn't believe that a little piece of paper with some scribbles on it would be enough.
For the 6 million in today's money,
Sure, yeah.
it's crazy.
Like today, if you were taking a check, I'm guessing they'd want to get it cashed first or...
Yeah.
They'd have to be pretty sure that it's a legit check.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't worry. These guys called up on the telephone, so I think it's okay.
It should be fine. I mean, I haven't seen their ID or anything.
Two of them haven't even given us their first name.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But they've got these legit
These pieces of
armoured
paper.
trucks and pieces of paper.
Yeah, I mean, a swindler wouldn't have an armoured truck. That's a good point.
Maze says, it wasn't until the following day that it was discovered the checks had been stolen and the money didn't exist.
Oh, my God. They took a full day. So they put the checks in the drawer. I'll catch these tomorrow. All good.
Yeah, it's 2:15.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't have time to get any work done. I have to sit here and wait for 5.
And they don't even add up to $1 million between the three of them. Do we even bother?
No, who cares?
Let's wait and let's wait
Let's
until
wait.
Why don't we just put it in under petty cash?
I imagine mints are like banks. And, they open at 9:30 and close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's the end of their day.
Incredibly
And they're only
inconvenient.
Monday to Friday. They're very accessible places.
Yeah.
You also can't get cash at a lot of them now, so that's fun.
Banks don't have cash anymore?
Yeah. So I do have to go get $1 coins for the washing machine all the time to launder money. And I can only go to certain branches. I had to call the bank the other day.
Hello?
Because my
Do you
go-to
have
branch
I
was
hope you didn't give
temporarily
them your full
closed. And I was like, I had to speak to someone in customer service. I was like, can you tell me which branch I can go to that I can actually get coins?
Sorry, we're all cashless
She had to
now.
put me on hold for 5 minutes to figure it out.
That is so wild.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So what do they do?
Home loans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all that made up money you never see.
Yeah, but not coins.
Well, I think that's clever. They can't get swindled that way.
Yeah,
I can't steal from them.
wild stuff.
I'm going to say swindle so much. Just love the word.
Such a good word.
So, like, heist is fun, but swindle.
And Swindles is a good nickname.
Oh, yeah.
Swindles.
Jess Swindles Perkins.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I feel like you should go to jail for a heist, but swindles you go. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Good one.
Swindle,
Yeah.
you're a bit of a scam.
Yeah, that was partly my fault.
Yeah,
you got me.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That's pretty good. It's like a prank.
Yeah. If it's a funny scam.
I
Yeah.
think a few people involved in this wish that was the case. They didn't realize that the checks were, they weren't fake, but they were stolen, so not legit. This wasn't realized until a man who had been hired as a courier to move the gold got a bit suspicious and called the cops. Thanks to him, this is what they were able to ascertain. So after the gold had left the mint, it was taken to an office in Subiaco, which is in the inner west of Perth. This office was being rented by a company known as Fryer Investments. Might recognise the name from Bob Fryer.
I do recognise the name from Bob Fryer. Any connection?
No relation. The office had been set up months prior, but it seems no one from the business ever took up occupancy there.
Oh, that's weird.
Been paying rent there for quite a while, but no, they kept saying to the manager, who the woman who was managing the office block, "Oh yeah, we've just got held up, so we're not going to make it out this week." And they just kept saying that, and she's like, "All right,
Fair enough. Right, they're paying rent.
Perth is a very trusting place.
yeah." Well, they were paying rent on time. The guy he called up. The MO of this guy is using the phone. He does all his business by phone. He's a man on the go. Mm-hmm. So via the phone...
Well, not really, because it would have been a landline. So
true.
He's a man in one
Stationary
spot.
man.
Yeah. Nowadays, absolutely a man on the go. But back then, man sitting in an
Could he have
armchair
been
next to
a car phone guy? When did they come in? Remember
That feels like an 80s thing, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it feels real 80s,
Yeah.
the big car phone. Imagine that, a car. A car with a phone?
That's crazy.
That's the future.
You could be chatting on the phone in the car?
In the car.
That's wild.
Possible.
My uncle had one, and I couldn't believe it.
That's so cool.
It would have like a little pig, swirly aerial, and that's how you knew. I wonder if they needed them, or if that was just like people doing it for status. Yeah, I got a car phone. Look, you can tell because I got the squiggly aerial.
Pretty cool.
Just in case you want to know which car to rob.
It's mine.
So that would have been in the 90s, though.
I've just looked it up. It says the car phone. This service originated with the Bell system and was first used in Missouri in 1946.
What?
It would have been very different, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, cars were very different as well.
But yep, apparently that's how early they started.
Wow, I didn't realize that. And what about mobile phones then, or cell phones?
Cell phones.
If you want it just for the Americans, cell phone. Am I saying that right?
They wouldn't get it otherwise.
You can get me on my cell.
Get me on my cell.
On my pager.
Yeah, just bit me on my pager.
Bit me.
If you want to bit me, I got my pager. Okay.
Hey, I'm going to need a plumber. My faucet is dripping.
I got a leaky faucet.
Not this again.
Americans wrote in to say they didn't mind it.
That doesn't mean they love it.
That was implicit consent. Am I using implicit right there?
I don't know.
Implicit. I'm giving implicit consent.
That's a yes from us.
That's a yes from
First
me.
handheld cellular mobile phone, 1973.
Oh, wow.
It
okay.
weighed 2 kilos.
handheld.
Yes, Dave, most people could pick up something that weighs 2
No, I
kilos.
think if you look at the first photo, the first phone was owned by Mr. Olympia.
So maybe he was on the go, this guy. Anyway, so via the phone, he set up the office, including signage. He said, can we get some signage? Very important that we get Fryer Investments up
Very important.
on the board. And yeah, like I said, they paid their rent on time. So the office manager had no real reason to suspect anything strange was going on.
I mean, they've got a sign. They're legit.
Yeah. Via the phone, a man also organised a temp secretary for the 22nd, the day of the swindle.
Oh.
Her job was pretty chilled. She was told to wait for security guards to arrive and then to give them each a check, which they then took to the Mint.
Right.
Those security agencies were also hired via telephone. They were each told to pick up a check from the Subiaco office before using them to pay for the gold and then returning with the gold to the office. A fourth security guard was hired, also by phone, and his job was just to sit and wait at the office for the gold to arrive, and he would wait with it until a courier came to pick it up. Another cruise. You'd be loving these gigs.
Yeah, it's great. Do you want to be the security guard or the secretary?
I don't want to be a security guard guarding 49 gold bars. I'd be a little bit worried.
Okay, so what was the answer to my question?
So I'd like to be a secretary. Thanks
Great.
so much.
I don't need to hear the why.
Yeah,
love
we
handing out a check.
don't need the workings out, Dave.
I had a feeling you probably didn't want to be the security guard. I was happy to do
Are
it.
you happy to do it?
I just wanted to fucking just answer the question.
But if you would have got to have
Jeez
a gun,
Louise.
Yeah.
does that mean Jess is the security guard?
Yeah, I'm security guard.
That's the only spot left.
Can the secretary have a gun?
No.
Okay.
I'll be the swindler then, I guess.
Yeah.
You're the man on the phone.
I'm the man on the phone.
You're always on the phone and on the go.
The courier was told the boxes were full of mining equipment, and he received instructions on his CB radio. Oh, a bit of a change in MO.
He's got a radio too, this guy.
And he was told that he was speaking to a man named Frank. He was told to take the boxes of mining equipment to the small airport of Jandakot, 20 k's south of the Mint. There he was told to drop them off at the northern end of the tarmac between two isolated hangars. He's like, this is a bit weird.
Does that feel weird? Yeah, that feels weird.
To drop them off on a runway, not like at an office or something, yeah.
Did they at any stage say, do not look in the box?
Whatever you do, don't look in the box.
That is sus.
No, because the courier has taken the courier's oath.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. You never look in the box.
You never look in the box.
Do you think, is that something you think would normally happen? That your mail, if you don't explicitly tell the mailman,
Do not look.
don't look in the box, then they go, he didn't say anything. I'm having a peek.
I can open this bill. Have a look.
Oh, hot water's a little up
it's
this
like,
way.
as they hand it over to you at the door. Ooh. Someone's been having a long shower.
So he did this, he followed the instructions, but then he felt a bit weird about it. So yeah, he went back to have a look, and the boxes were still just sitting there where he left them. So he's like, okay, that's weird. But he still felt a bit strange about it. He ended up calling the cops.
Did he look in the box?
He never looked in the box.
What's in the box?
Gosh,
By the time he, because he was just thinking it was mining equipment, but he's like, maybe it's stolen or something. And
yeah, why am I leaving it here in the middle of nowhere? Yeah.
So he calls the cops. He's a narc, and he, by the time the cops go and look, it's gone. Presumably, it's been flown somewhere. But as to where, the cops were in the dark.
Right, but they're like, thank goodness we don't have to do anything. It's no longer there.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about something that's not there.
Yeah.
That's not our job.
Yeah.
To find stuff that isn't there anymore.
Exactly.
That's not on us.
What, you want us to solve the perfect crime? They got away with it. Move on.
That could be anywhere, and our jurisdiction isn't everywhere.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We're not Interpol.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want help with this? Call Interpol.
Call Interpol.
No, I don't have their phone number. They're fucking Interpol.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can just Google their phone number.
They don't do
They're pretty
that.
secretive.
Yeah, okay.
God.
1-800-INTERPOL. Just looked it up.
Wow.
That's not true.
So,
Imagine though.
leading the investigation, and I'm afraid they did investigate.
What?
But it's not their jurisdiction.
It's not their job.
Oh, my God.
I
To
think
find something that's been stolen. Wow.
the main man leading the investigation was a guy called Detective Sergeant Don Hancock,
Hell yeah.
nicknamed the Grey Fox, or I see some places, the Silver Fox.
Okay.
He was known as a hard man of the Perth Criminal Investigation Branch. Old school cop. He gets results. Not always by the book, perhaps.
Yeah.
And not always results, but he gets something.
Yeah. You
Sometimes
know,
it's a coffee, but he always gets something.
so a month passes.
Sometimes it's in trouble. Sometimes it's a firm talking
Yeah,
to.
exactly. Get in trouble with the law, get in trouble with the wife, get in trouble with them all.
Always in trouble.
A month passes, and they really don't have many leads at all. The public pressure is starting to mount. They want to find the culprits. And I also imagine pressure is probably coming from the state government and probably people at the Mint as well,
Yeah.
who must be a little embarrassed by this
The
whole
Mint
thing.
saying, yeah, the public really want. Are the
Yeah.
public giving any shit?
Yeah.
The Mint, oh my God, you really got to solve this.
The public are they're about to protest.
It's all they're talking about.
They're very upset. They're very upset.
Where's the guy who runs the Mint who just like handed out boxes full of gold for some pieces of paper? You got some paper?
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
What do you want? 49. All right. We could have given you more, but if
Yeah,
that's all you want.
Yeah, I'll chuck in 50.
It's easier for me.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about looking after it.
You take it.
Clean me out.
Enjoy. More of a silver guy myself.
Yeah. Less for me to worry about. White gold.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
a white gold
I'm
man.
a white gold
It's a
man.
bit yellow for me.
A bit gaudy.
Yeah. But, hey, to
Hey.
each their own.
You to you. So weeks go by without any major developments, and yes, I do realize that I am changing tense a bit, and I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm slipping from present to
It's
past
fun.
on it. It's fun.
It's fun. I like it.
All of a sudden, I'm getting, oh, this is urgent.
It makes me feel like you're just telling me a story
Yeah.
rather than reading from your laptop.
Yeah, I like it. It
Makes me
like,
feel connected to you.
we're in the present now, but everyone listening to it by that time, this will be the past to them.
God,
Know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
trip.
But, yeah, shit.
Holy shit.
That's
it's like
crazy.
we're time traveling right now.
Oh my God.
So yeah, weeks go by, no major developments, but then out of the blue, an arrest was made. The police, for some reason, narrow in on the Mickelberg brothers,
Ooh.
Peter, Brian, and Ray.
Oh, there's 3 of them. Okay. For some reason, I just thought 2.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because brothers is 2.
Yeah.
Isn't that stupid?
There could be 50 of
Could
them.
be heaps of them.
The Beagle brothers, how many of them were there?
I don't know what that is.
What's
Are
a
they
Beagle
dogs?
brother?
They were the baddies from DuckTales, weren't they?
That makes
No,
sense.
that was the Beagle boys. I'm so sorry. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
And there were quite a few of them.
How
But they were the boys.
embarrassing.
They were the boys.
This is the brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. There is quite a lot of them.
Yeah,
okay.
that's boys. So do you think these guys should be called the Mickelberg Boys?
the boys.
Boys? No, I think if they are brothers, they can be called the brothers.
Okay. Yeah.
I just
You can
thought
accept that?
that's only 2.
Uh-huh. So we got Ray.
Yes.
The eldest. He's 36.
Old.
He'd served in Vietnam and was ex-SAS.
Wow.
Which is in the Australian Army, that's sort of like the full-on,
Yeah.
Yeah, the proper special services.
yeah,
They're full on.
that have not found any controversy in recent times.
Absolutely not.
And he and his brother Peter, 22.
Oh,
bit of
baby.
gap there.
Bit of a big gap there.
Were abalone divers at this point.
Is Peter the youngest?
Peter's the
So
youngest.
there's one in the middle.
One in the middle,
But
but
still big gaps.
yeah. Well, I mean, not to number 2. Brian, 34, was a helicopter pilot,
Okay.
so he could fly planes and helicopters.
This is pretty convenient. One of them's great at diving. One of them's special forces.
Yep.
One's the helicopter guy.
Yeah, and of course,
Crack team.
the gold was left at an airport and flown. And this wasn't a commercial airport. This was,
Yeah.
their equivalent of Moorabbin Airport.
Yeah.
The little
Small airport. Small planes.
Small planes.
And is it possibly it's been hidden in abalone?
Which I'm not sure what that is.
It's like a mollusk.
Yeah.
And-
you got to dive real deep for it, don't you?
And we can also pretty safely assume that Peter was an accident.
Because he's that many years younger.
Yeah, because you got 36, 34, 22.
No, there can be a big gap.
That's a fucking huge gap. He's an accident.
I reckon that they were like, these first two are so good, why not have a third many years later?
Yeah,
well,
we've
now
got-
that we've seen how they've turned out.
Yeah, now that we've got
let's go again.
teenagers,
Yeah.
let's do a baby
These
again.
are awesome.
Can I just
Fantastic.
double check the gap between you
7 years.
Okay. So this is feels like a projection thing.
No. 7 years, I'm a blessing.
Okay.
Miracle.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, a
What's the
pleasant surprise.
What's the threshold? Does it cross-
10 years.
Okay.
So pleasant surprise under 10.
Yeah.
Over 10 is
Accident.
accident.
Absolutely. Or dad was away at war. Like there can be gaps for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no excuse.
It's a long war.
Yeah. Well,
Some of them have been long, Dave.
yeah.
Okay? 99 years or something.
Yeah. What about the 99
What
year
about
war?
the 99 year war? And 90 Mile Beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things can be long.
Things
Dave.
can be long.
Not in my experience.
So all 3 brothers had clean records.
Wow, all 2 brothers in the mistake.
Well, yeah, that's right.
I'm on Peter's side here. I'm pro Peter.
You're right, though. The mistake had been fined $50 for possession of an unlicensed firearm.
Okay, I'm no longer on Peter's side.
I mean, that like a very minor charge. So they basically were all, as one article put it, clean skins.
Okay.
Right.
Isn't that a type of wine?
Yeah. If it doesn't have like the marketing label on it and you don't know what winery it's from, just the region, I think. I used to work in a bottle shop. So according to the Sydney Morning Herald, on July the 26th, 1982, Peter Mickelberg, the youngest, the mistake, I don't like calling him that, but that's Jess's word. And she's a journalist, so I have to
Quote the journalist, please.
quote the journalist, please.
Why haven't I used that before? I can make you say anything.
Yeah.
Let's quote the journalist, please.
Quote the journalist, please.
No, because then it puts everything on me.
Absolutely. We're just your mouthpiece.
Yep.
Shit.
So, according to the Sydney Morning Herald, on the 26th of July 1982, we're a bit over a month from the Swindle, Peter Mickelberg, the youngest, was driving to his home in the northern suburbs of Perth when a car pulled across in front of him, forcing him to brake suddenly. It was the police. Mickelberg was bundled into the police car and taken to Belmont Police Station.
What do they do with his car? You know?
I'm sure they probably have valet parking.
Yeah. Do they just like pull it over the side of the road or just leave it on the middle of the road with the hazards on or
I'm
something?
pretty sure every cop car has 2 cops in the front, 1 valet parker in the back.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then give you a little ticket. So
Yeah.
have a great night, sir.
Yeah. Have a great night, sir.
And you are expected to tip.
Yeah.
Here's your stub.
Tip not included.
The Silver Fox Hancock was waiting at Belmont Police Station that rainy day when Peter Mickelberg, the youngest, and police thought most vulnerable of the brothers arrived.
Because he's young and a mistake.
Yeah, they thought he's the one that they could
You crack him.
crack him.
Being
yeah.
a mistake doesn't mean unloved. You just weren't expected.
Unexpected. That's a nicer term. Unexpected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but isn't that what
People are going to hate this. People with big gaps are going to hate this. I am joking.
a blessing? You refer to yourself as a blessing.
I'm a blessing, yes.
But quite a lot harsher the mistake
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
Okay. You sort of half walked it back. So Hancock, the Silver Fox.
Mistakes can be blessings. You can learn from mistakes.
True.
You know?
You should.
It just sounds like they didn't have any more kids after him. So that's the lesson.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
That's the lesson. They went,
And also-
no, we are done.
Can I say, 12-year age gap, we don't know that there might have been 4 sisters in the middle there.
True.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
True.
Boy, girl,
There's
girl,
16
girl, Peter.
There's 16 years between my dad and his eldest brother.
Sounds like a few mistakes were made.
6 more kids in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Dad's the youngest.
my eldest auntie and the youngest auntie, there's 20-something years between them.
Yeah, okay.
But they're 14 kids. 13 kids.
That's too many kids.
Like it's so many that I'm not exactly sure if it's 13 or 14.
Do you know all their names?
Yeah, but I wouldn't put money on remembering them all in one go.
Yeah,
if I saw them all, I'd name them.
You'd need a pen and paper.
Yeah.
You got more
And a
aunties,
calculator.
more aunties than members of the Wu-Tang Clan. That's impressive. That's a good fact.
That's a good fact.
That's a good
Now
fact.
that's a good
Put
fact.
that on the resume.
Maybe it should they have, instead of calling themselves the brothers, maybe these guys should have called themselves the Mickelberg clan.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Dave, you're absolutely right. There could be, they could have other brothers.
Yeah, they just aren't included in the criminal
Yeah.
alleged
you're right.
at this stage.
I take it back. Maybe it's not an accident. Maybe the accident came many years later.
Yeah, the actual accident. Cheryl's like, what the hell? It's me.
I'm the mistake. How dare you?
Yeah, take my title.
Peter, the golden boy.
Yeah, we all love Peter.
So Hancock is waiting at Belmont Police Station when the younger Mickelberg Peter arrives.
Mm-hmm.
Hancock's there with another officer, a more junior detective, at least to him, named Anthony Lewandowski. Author Avon Lovell, who wrote a book about the case in 1985, just a few years later, suggested the Belmont Police Station was a strange choice of station to take him to, as there was a closer station in Perth City, maybe one that would normally have been used for such a thing. Oh, that's a bit strange.
Oh, okay.
And as the Sydney Morning Herald writes, stranger still was that by the time Mickelberg arrived, all the officers stationed there had gone, except the officer in charge, and he soon left as well. So the young Mickelberg was left alone with Hancock and Lewandowski. There, the two police officers say Mickelberg confessed, which they wrote down word for word as he gave it to them orally, implicating himself and his two brothers. Despite supposedly admitting to the crime, Mickelberg did not sign the confession.
God, this is sounding a little suspicious so far.
Sounding to me ethical.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, those are my words, definitely, but I won't sign it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, those are my words.
I can see the Silver Fox being played by, like, Statham. He says, yeah, I do it by the book, and then he hits him with the book.
Yeah.
Is it Statham with a silver wig?
Yeah.
That would look awesome. Like a real quiff.
Yeah.
Like huge.
Yes.
A real quiff.
That's in the trailer. I
Yeah.
do things by the book. And then the next scene is him just beating the shit out of somebody with a book.
Took my brain just a second to differentiate between quiff and queef. Anyway, so yeah, he's admitted it, according to the two officers. They've written it down word for word, longhand.
Don't have a tape of it or anything.
No tape. I don't know if
nobody
tapes
else was around.
It was only 1982.
Tapes weren't working.
Yeah, all the tapes weren't working.
Yeah,
somebody hadn't rewound them.
We sent everyone else home.
Everyone else is gone.
Well, that's a shame. So
I
yeah.
like those little police stations that just close. They just do like normal business hours and then off they go.
See you later.
Yeah, and you're like, okay,
Crime doesn't happen overnight in those areas.
that's right.
So yeah, he didn't sign the confession. According to Mays, Peter would later testify Hancock beat him and made him strip naked, but despite that, he refused to sign a confession to a crime he said he didn't commit. 2 days later, the Mickelberg brothers were charged, and to go along with the confession, Don, the Grey Fox Hancock, also produced a vital fingerprint clue, that of Ray Mickelberg, the older brother, on one of the checks used in the swindle. The fingerprint, along with the confession, were the cornerstones of the prosecution's case. So it's like they're feeling pretty good about this case. They've got a pretty solid case, they think.
It does
here.
feel like any confession, especially unsigned, as soon as the person says, no, I didn't do that, it kind of should be discounted, right?
Well, I think, if you get cold feet, I think that you go, oh, you're changing your story now? Why would you have confessed then? And I think it...
But then if you say, but I didn't confess, these two guys made it up.
These two upstanding police officers.
Earlier you said apparently that you did this, and now you're saying that you never said that you did this?
Okay, interesting.
Sounds like we should put you away for 25 years, case closed.
Were you the judge on this case? This is all ringing a bell, Dave.
I've heard enough.
That'll do me.
Look, I read the first 2 sentences of your confession and I got bored, so I'm assuming you did it.
Mate, I've seen your handwriting right here. I didn't write it. I'm not even saying I wrote it. He did. Well, that's enough for me.
Not for me. The cop said he wrote it down.
Okay.
Honestly,
I know your handwriting. I get your vibe.
Okay.
Honestly, the handwriting's so bad I couldn't even read it, so I had to get the gist from the cop. But
Yeah.
Hancock says, you did it. I believe you did it.
I believe him. Look at that hair.
Jury, we don't even need your opinion.
Is there any irony in the fact that Hancock couldn't get him to sign it?
Oh, the John Hancock.
To John Hancock? Don't know. Just worth a question.
There's
you go.
something in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
God knows we can't figure it out right now, but
I
there's
think
something.
Americans would love that, though. I
Oh
think
my
that's a
God,
bit of
they would
American
love that.
terminology.
They would love that.
Yeah.
They would love that.
Oh my God, water.
We
Water.
love John Hancock.
Yeah, we love John
I
Hancock.
think Dave's the worst at it.
Which is amazing.
No.
I think I got some compliments last time.
Okay.
Just to balance things out, let me do the Australian accent. No. That's how we say no. No. Is that right? No. Darn. No.
Razor Blades, Pizzeria.
Razor Blades Pizzeria. I saw someone quote you on that and they said Rollerblades Pizzeria.
Love it.
Very different.
That's great.
Very different.
Rollerblades Pizzeria.
Port Royal.
Even, is there anything more Australian than rollerblades?
No.
I don't think so. That's why we got them on our flag.
That's correct.
So we've got the confession. This is pretty much open shut case. So yes, so we got the fingerprint, and we got the confession.
Yeah.
During the investigation, they also raided the Mickelbergs' home and invited TV news crews along for the ride with them.
Sure.
These cops were like, they were doing PR basically. They're going, no, look, we've got it. We're on top of this. Come, bring the cameras in. It's like, it's weird. You don't get that normally inside the house.
Film is going through their undies drawer.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to get a fair and impartial trial when we get a jury from this quite small city.
Yeah.
And everyone's seen this on TV. Yeah, they'll be judged fairly.
So yeah, I watched the footage, like the news that night showed it, when you can still see that online.
And do they all live together?
I think it is like a family home.
Oh my God, Brady Bunch.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe it is just one of the brothers' homes.
You're 34. Like, move the fuck out of home. Know what I mean?
Yeah, 36.
You talking to me?
36. Well, one of them's 34.
Yeah.
Got him. Oh, listen.
Wrap it up. We got it.
Got him.
So they
Dave, move out of home, mate.
Oh, okay. Move out of my home?
Yeah. Give it to me.
It sounds like they already knew these were there, but they went in and pulled up the floorboards and found gold and silver bullions. These turned out to be legally owned by the family. They had documentation proving that. But that didn't really matter because it played really well on camera. The footages of them pulling out gold bullions from the floor, that's pretty sus.
Yeah.
And yeah, it didn't look good for the brothers.
Even though it is legal.
Yeah, I don't know if they really mentioned that so much.
No, I don't think they would have. As a journalist, I wouldn't have mentioned that.
Well, you only have to mention the how, what, when, why.
Yeah, that's right. And reveal the hiding spot of a family's gold.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're not allowed to have your own private belongings hidden in your house.
You can't do that.
Nice try.
What if a robber comes in and they can't find your gold? Hey? Think about the robber.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can sort of see why
Robber.
why the coppers might
No,
think.
they'd never say coppers.
But why the
cops.
Why the furs? They'd see why the police might have been sus on them. One of the brothers can fly a plane.
Yep.
They obviously have an interest in gold bullions.
Yes.
So, you can sort of see why they might be investigating them.
So they might not have knowledge of how the system works, where you get gold bullion from, what you have to do to check out these bars. Yeah, because I'd have no idea.
No.
But I guess
you
most people do.
Give them a call.
Yeah.
Send a truck.
Yeah, I've got a guy coming to pick it up later. He'll give you a piece of paper if you could just put those 49 gold bars in the back of my car for me. That'd be
How do you
fantastic.
buy gold now? Can you buy gold?
I think you can buy it from the mint. I
Can you
believe.
just go buy gold?
Yeah.
Or you set up one of those businesses in a shopping mall that says, "We buy gold."
Ah, yes.
So then you just sit and wait. And people bring it
They bring
to
it
you.
to you.
Yeah. Way more efficient.
Great.
You just hope that the gold that comes in pays for the rent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things aren't looking good based on, at least the police's PR work. And things are about to get even worse for the Mickelbergs, as a couple of months later, they were embroiled in another high-profile case.
What?
Oh.
According to Mays, during their investigation, police found a series of incriminating photographs at the home of Brian Posey, a friend of Ray Mickelberg's. And these showed the brothers were connected to another gold scandal, the Yellow Rose of Texas scam. In 1980, a huge nugget weighing more than 11 kilograms had supposedly been found near Kalgoorlie by an elderly prospecting couple. But
11 kilos.
Big chunk.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, what would that be in pounds for our Americans?
Is it 2.2? 25?
Yeah, right. It's a hefty, it's a big old
Yeah.
thing. But as it turned out, this had all been part of a publicity stunt. As May continues, TV crews were called to the Jandakot Airport,
Same airport.
Same airport, where a light plane piloted by Brian Mickelberg, the pilot brother,
Yep.
had landed, and apparently it had just come from the goldfields, and the woman who, with her husband, supposedly found the nugget emerged carrying the huge rock. Named the Yellow Rose of Texas, which makes sense. It was
She could carry 11 kilos, Dave. Can you believe
That's
that?
Mrs. Olympia.
Yellow Rose of Texas makes sense, doesn't it?
I
It
like
was found in, the Western Australian outback.
It makes sense.
The giant bauble was sold to Alan Bond for $350,000.
Well, we trust that guy.
That feels like a bargain.
Yeah, it
In
does.
today's money.
For 11 kilos.
Yeah, in today's money, that's like over $3 million. I think.
Yeah.
But in an ironic twist, the man who would go on to defraud investors to the tune of tens of millions of dollars was himself duped by the sale. The nugget turned out to have been manufactured by Ray and Brian. So it was real gold, but I think they'd
They made it look like a nugget.
made it look like a nugget. Reportedly to promote an adventure and tourism and prospecting business they planned to start, and was valued at less than half of what Bond paid. Not only Brian Posey and Ray Mickelberg were charged, but also Peter and Brian Mickelberg. It's confusing because there's two Brians. And their mother, Peggy, who played the part of the elderly prospector emerging from the plane with the
wow.
nugget. They were
Peggy
all
Mickelberg.
charged and all received jail time for
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Shit, but what have they done? They got like a rock and just covered it in gold and made it so it looks
What?
heavier and...
I'm not sure. I think it was a legit gold, but rather than it, I'm guessing they just probably turned some bullions. I don't know. Can you melt bullions in to make them look like it's a more natural
Yeah, I
discovered?
guess if you just have some sort of mold.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. But
Cool.
yeah. For the listeners who don't know Alan Bond, which is probably nearly everybody, but apart from people as old as me and from Australia.
No, corporate crime, yes.
Yeah, you're from. Oh, that's right. Who's your favourite Bond?
Yeah, that's right. He was part of my comedy festival show last year. Anyway, who's your favourite James Bond? But I would just say Bond. And I'd say, oh, really? My favourite's probably Alan. Bit of fun.
So Alan Bond, you shouldn't feel too bad for him because he was later
never
sent
did.
to prison for committing the fraud himself, as I alluded to. He was a larger-than-life character in Australia. And I just to talk about him very briefly, a couple of my favourite quotes centred around him. One of them was after he led the syndicate that won the America's Cup with Australia 2 in 1983. So right around this time, when the then Australian Prime Minister Bob Hawke said, "Any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum." And he pisses himself laughing. And the reporters all around him
Oh, Hawkeye.
And he
That's
sculls a beer.
become a bit of a famous quote in Australia. And another one was after Bond. So do you know about this? Bond bought Channel 9. He bought it off Kerry Packer in a deal that saw him pay $1.05 billion in 1987.
That's so much money.
But then 3 years later, sell it back to Packer for $250 million. And Packer later remarked, "You only get one Alan Bond in your lifetime, and I've had mine." It's like just pure luck. So good.
Wow.
So yeah, Bond was like very rich, but obviously also a little bit dupable.
Bit too rich.
Yeah.
I think. Bit too rich.
Yeah.
I think it should be capped. I don't think anybody should have. I think $1 billion should be the cap.
Yeah, I mean, and that.
I'm being so generous.
I mean, some people need $1 billion though. You know?
Yeah. But some people have multiple billion.
You know, about 50% of our listeners are
multi-billionaires.
multi-billionaires, and
And
they
I
are going to
think-
be furious about
I think
this.
they should give a little more to the Patreon then.
Yeah,
Okay.
write in. Are you a billionaire? We'd
If
love
you're a
to hear from you.
billionaire, can I have $1 million, please?
Oh, that's nothing to you. Can I have $1 million as well?
Yeah, give each of us $1 million.
Okay, I'd
Prove
love
that
that.
you're a real
Yeah,
billionaire.
Yeah, prove it.
Do some philanthropy and give us some, please.
And
Please and thank you.
Speaking of cash, let's go to a quick break. And we're back. Unless you're on the Patreon, on the bonus episode level or above, you won't have even heard an ad then.
That's right. You get no ads. It's ad-free, baby. Part of the service from us to
God,
you.
I hope we had some really annoying ads just then so that this really tells people like, yeah, you know what?
You know
I
what?
am going to sign
It's
up.
worth it. Plus, I get bonus episodes, and all of those are ad-free as well. Over
Yeah.
200 bonus episodes to unlock instantly.
I think it's the
Unfortunately, if it was us doing the ads, they were probably very entertaining.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
we're
that's
really
the problem.
good at
You do also miss out on our ads
And they're very good.
and our plugs for upcoming shows. So you're like, oh, I didn't know you came through my city. Well, you're on ad free. I know.
What do you want from us?
I'm sorry. There's no perfect solution. It's very frustrating for
But
us.
if you're on the Patreon, you probably do know about
yeah,
it.
we'll tell you in there.
Well, you find out first and also get discounts on all the tickets. So really, it's win-win.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to finish the ads and then get back into the report.
Now
Do some more ads.
Okay, fantastic.
I give you this thing.
See, is it the Dreamgoat Cooper? Dreamboat Cooper level or above, I think, is maybe the bonus episodes.
Correct.
That is correct.
All right, let's get back into the story. So, yeah, this whole Yellow Rose of Texas or whatever it was called,
Yes.
that whole separate investigation was happening at the same time as the Swindle. They were sort of overlapping with each other.
Wow.
But they did get some jail sentences for those.
They did, yeah. Yeah, and I imagine the fact that they've been found to be involved in all this sort of stuff is making the cops even more sure that they've probably got the right people.
They did one
Confirmation
gold
bias.
swindle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do one gold swindle, you do them all. Everything that I investigate from here on out that has anything to do with gold, you.
And maybe if you're pretty sure they did it anyway, like, why do you have to find evidence when you can just
When you can just get
We're
the
just
vibe
right,
there.
You're
right out
right.
of confession?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on, look at the facts.
Look at 'em.
Well, look at the feelings.
Yeah, look at the feelings.
Look at my feelings.
Look at the
my feelings.
vibes.
Come on. Touch my hand.
Would
Feel
I
that?
lie to you? Would I lie to you?
Feel that? Very steady hand,
Very
I
steady
believe. So early the following year, in March of 1983, the brothers were found guilty and sentenced for the mint job. The written confession and the fingerprint played a major role in the conviction. Ray was sentenced to 20 years in jail.
Whoa.
It's a long time.
Peter, 16, and Brian, 12. These were huge sentences in a relatively victimless crime. You
And
know,
why?
no
such-
one ever was threatened or anything. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
you go, in this heist, you got to remember that these people were fearing for their lives. No one ever was.
No one's having any trauma except for the idiot who handed over the gold in exchange for 2 pieces
He's
of
going,
paper.
"Ugh."
Oh,
Yeah, but it's embarrassment
Yeah.
rather than like
Few sleepless nights.
Yeah, I wake up in sweats seeing the
I wake up
gun
thinking,
pointed at my face.
Oh, shit.
And actually, we're not taking into consideration the feelings of the gold bullion either. You know,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
it was
true.
really hard on them.
That's already been through a lot. It's been smelted down,
Yeah.
reshaped into a form it was not familiar with.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's already feeling, some of its friends might be in another box somewhere and they never see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and maybe
hard.
even part of them, they could have been split up.
Could be smelted with your ex
Oh,
Oh, my God.
forever.
forever.
Oh, no.
You're like, God, I wish for another smelting.
Yeah.
Smelt me.
Smelt me one more.
So you can smelt him. Bloody smelter.
He knows what he did.
I think part of the reason was they were also charged with supposedly stealing these checks. So the checks were stolen from a business about a month or something earlier, and they burnt down the building, whoever stole them, and they were accused and found guilty of doing that as well.
Okay.
So that also, I guess the arson and
Wow.
stuff all bumped up the time, but
Yeah.
it was still seen as being
20 years. 'Cause we've
quite a long stretches.
definitely covered much more heinous crimes on the show, and they're like, and they got 4.5 years.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay,
And you're
the
like, oh,
scale seems off here.
yeah.
Brian, who
middle.
was the pilot, the middleman, he appealed his conviction and it was overturned after he'd served just 8 months. But sadly, he died soon after. According to Mays, in a tragic and what some labelled as a suspicious twist of fate, Brian was killed in a plane crash in 1986. I don't know how it would have been suspicious, but apparently, there's some conspiracy theories
Someone
that
cut the brakes.
he was taken out.
Oh, taking it rather than he crashed on purpose. A third party's come in and crashed his plane.
That's what I was assuming,
I
but
said cut the brakes in a plane.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
yeah.
Actually, sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Obviously, they do have brake lines, so they stop when they land otherwise.
Yeah, but when in the air, you don't need the brakes.
No. Quick, hit the brakes. That is funny.
Thank you.
Flipping and flopping here.
Jesus. Yeah, first you're nitpicking.
Yeah. Then I'm going, that's great.
Nah, that's good stuff.
Really
That's
good.
good stuff.
His surviving brothers, Ray and Peter, the abalone fishermen, the divers, they appealed their case multiple times, but they had less luck than their brother. And
How does that work?
and continue to do hard time. Yeah, it feels like, I mean, I haven't got into the fine details of the case, so there must be some reasons, but it does seem strange.
They decided that Brian didn't do it, but the other two did.
Yeah, the guy who was required for the plane.
He probably
He
wasn't involved.
They probably, it was a decoy. They probably just ran away from the airport.
Swam away. They dived away.
They dived away.
Have they found the gold yet? In this part of the story? Abalone. It's in the abalone.
Wow.
Sleeping with the fishes.
There's always money in the abalone stand. What? So yeah, they tried quite a few times to appeal, but they were doing hard time. And according to Richard Carlton, who reported on this story over a few decades, he's like probably a hero of yours, an Australian journalist.
Of course, absolutely, yes.
He
Got a
reported
poster of him on my wall
on
still.
60 Minutes. He said they were in what was possibly Australia's toughest jail at the time, Fremantle. And it was a tough prison. The brothers have spoken about the brutality of the place since, the regular brawls and whatnot. To me, most notably, Ray, I think it was one of the brothers. I think it was Ray, said at one point he had his finger bitten off by another inmate and flushed down the toilet.
What the fuck?
I'm laughing out of shock.
Yeah.
That's full on.
Richard Carlton's walking them through their old prison, which had been shut down by then, but it looked like an old school, I guess like Pentridge or something. You can't believe it was still operating in the 80s. But he's like, yeah, around here and talking about how people are coming from behind and hitting him over the head with buckets and stuff. Their cell didn't have a toilet, it just had a bucket.
Okay, well, the story's not adding up now. Flushed it down a bucket. Where'd the finger go?
Just get it out of the bucket. Yeah, it's gross, but...
Well, there's also communal toilets, Dave. Jeez, their cells only had buckets.
Bit off a finger. Sorry, I've got to run this to the communal toilet down the hall.
Why are you assuming he was bitten off in the cell? You're making up a story and going, that doesn't add up.
He was biting off his finger in the toilet?
This doesn't add up to my story.
This doesn't add up to the thing I assumed. Interesting.
No, that's
Case dismissed.
obviously
You
horrifying.
were the judge.
Yeah. I've written my own movie.
This doesn't make sense.
And this one, the judge is the hero.
And handsome.
Yeah.
And tall.
Such a hot judge.
So beautiful.
According to Carlton, it was from here that they began their series of appeals, including 4 that got as far as the High Court. But yeah, I see different amounts of appeals, but this is a quote from Carlton. In 83, 84, 86, 87, 89, and twice in 1990, the Mickelbergs said the cops were lying, but the judges didn't believe them. You didn't, did you, Dave?
No.
Right up until the year you were born.
And then I started changing my tune.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is despite journalist Avon Lovell's book, The Mickelberg Stitch, that was written in 1985, which put forward the case for the brothers' innocence and citing corrupt police behaviour. According to the 60 Minutes report, which was shown in 2002, the police union docked every copper $2 of pay to fund legal action to keep that book off the streets. So, like, every cop in Perth or in Western Australia paid $2 for the legal action, which is wild. And it worked to an extent, apparently. The book was banned in Western Australia, though it was still available elsewhere. So they were really trying to suppress this story.
That screams innocent to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Put $2 in to prove your innocence by silencing all the critics.
But yeah, I mean, if you made the argument that this is all made up, this is all nonsense and hearsay, and it's just making us.
We'll look back.
We're doing our best. We're upstanding
and
members
the community
of the.
won't trust us. Because of this.
That's how
this
you
heresy.
Imagine they're putting it.
Yeah.
But from our side, where we're like not fully trusting the silver fox. According to Mays, while Ray and Peter continued to languish in jail, the stolen gold remained missing.
Ooh.
That is until 1989, when in a bombshell development, one of the missing gold bars was sent to television reporter Alison Fan with a note that read, quote, "The Mickelbergs are innocent and rotting in jail." 3 months later, most of the rest of the missing bullion was delivered to the offices of Channel 7 in Perth in pelletised form. What you'd appreciate more, Jess? Just little
like discs of it.
Discs of it.
That actually quite
nice.
nice.
Love how Channel 7 said, only most of it was sent. There's a few
They've
bars
taken a
missing.
few scoops because it was like it was just like cornflakes almost. Just a couple of. Yeah, it does seem like most of it
a little
was
bit
there.
lighter, not quite full.
Yeah.
Not quite full.
Yeah. I've always had this diamond engagement ring.
I've always had this gold tooth.
Yeah.
Posting the news that night.
It would
This is
be
my Porsche. They had remote back then, I'm sure.
Yeah.
that'd be such a wild way to steal gold is to just keep it on your person at all times.
In your butt.
So I know how to keep it safe.
The golden tush.
And so when all of that gold was returned in pelletized form, it also had a note suggesting that they had been framed. And the Mint confirmed it was indeed the missing gold, but the Mickelbergs' convictions over this swindle stood. I mean, an anonymous note saying they didn't do it, I guess, doesn't prove anything.
Yes, true. And I guess the gold being returned also doesn't prove they didn't steal it. It's funny, like, how do they, it's been made into little pellets, how do they know that it's that same gold?
Yeah. Do they have like a unique DNA?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got to smelt it down to check its DNA.
You smelt it.
They look at it under a microscope and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Darren?
There he is. It's my ex. Reunited.
And then they throw that bit of gold out.
So good.
Trash.
Darren, you dog.
You know what you did.
You're not worth anything. So the gold has been returned.
Right,
most of it. Peter and Ray continued to appeal for years afterwards, and they were released on parole after 6 and 8 years respectively, but continued to appeal, wanting to clear their names because they're like, our reputations. They did get out quite a lot earlier, but still those were pretty long stretches.
Yeah.
Especially now that the gold has been returned.
So what do we think's happened before, Matt actually tells us? Just do you think that someone else has done the crime and has felt so guilty about it that they've returned what is now worth $6 million worth of gold in the hopes to get these other guys off? Or they did do it and that they said to their family, hey, I think we might get out if you return the gold.
Yeah.
Can you do that? What do you reckon? Because
I think it's moles.
Oh, yeah.
Moles gold.
As a journalist.
Well, where do you normally find gold?
Underground.
Oh, my God.
Where are the moles?
In the trees.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's just like an activity they're doing, but then they tend to
where
live
they usually
live in the ground.
I mean, right now they're in the trees.
Having a great day out.
It's just a beautiful day.
Every mole deserves a little time out in the sun.
Yeah, they're doing a team building ropes course.
And they're actually having a really nice time.
That was that.
One of the moles is scared of heights, though, so that has been challenging.
Help.
Well, yeah, don't you call that? It's like fear, conquering your fears, that
That's
sort
right.
of stuff.
Yeah.
A few trust falls.
But yeah, it was kind of confusing that I asked where they are. Because I meant, generally.
I did take that very literally. I do apologise. Because as I was walking in, I saw the moles in the tree.
Yeah.
But you mean, where do they live? Underground.
Underground, where the gold is.
Perfect.
Or where the gold was.
Well, as the judge, I think this adds up.
And it's been pelletized.
Pelletized. Hadn't heard that word in terms of gold before. Or maybe in terms of anything.
Pelletized. I like it.
Yeah, so they're still trying to clear their names. And while the court system, headed by Dave Warnocky, seemed to remain confident of the brothers' guilt, Australian journalists were not so sure. Talking about Carlton.
My people.
Your hero.
My peers, sorry.
Rob Carlton.
Yes.
We also
Fan.
fan. We also had the journalist and author Avon. Which is a great name.
Incredible name.
So much so that I can't remember his surname. Lovell. Avon.
I was going to say Love. Lovell.
Avon.
What if it's like Avon Lavelle?
Oh, even
could be.
better.
It
Avon
really could be.
Lavelle.
That's romantic as shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all like going. There's someone sus with this whole investigation. Under oath, the Silver Fox Don Hancock and his junior detective Lewandowski both claimed that the confession was written word for word, as the young Mickelberg told to them. I mentioned that before. They said it in multiple court cases under oath. That's what happened. He said the words. We wrote them down. And as Carlton reported, the police have sworn black and blue there was no rewriting. Commander Hancock swore Peter Mickelberg's initial confession at Belmont Police Station was written down word for word. It was the entire interview from beginning to end. But in 1992, Carlton's investigation led to a breakthrough when, quote, 2 English scientists proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that the notes had been doctored. This led to the Grey Fox, Hancock, amending his story 10 years later, saying, in fact, the notes were not word for word. Instead, quote, they're not verbatim. They're not a record of the conversation. They're notes for our own recollection at a later date. When Carlton put this contradiction, he's on record so many times. Oh, okay. Well, you're twisting my words now.
Yeah. I never used the word verbatim. I'm like, come on.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
How
I said
slow
word for
would he
word.
have had to talk
Exactly.
for me to
I
then write that
I
down?
can't keep up. When he said I didn't do it, I had to skip a few words, so I just wrote down I did it. Do you understand? It saved me time.
It saves me time.
I can't write it all out. I did not do it. That takes ages to write down, so I just wrote I did it.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Done.
When I look back at it, I know what I meant.
Yeah, when I look back on it, some days later,
Sometimes weeks.
I
I go,
filled in the gaps.
got it. Locked and
Bit
loaded.
of colour, you know? I wanted it to be interesting for the judge to read. So, yeah. It's just amazing. Oh, come on. What?
You're trying to stitch me up here.
Yeah. So, Carlton interviews Hancock on TV. You can see the footage. I watched footage of it, and this is a little bit. Carlton puts this to him, and this is the brief exchange. Carlton, would you give us a logical explanation, please, for this? Hancock, no, I will not. That's not something to be bandied around in the media. That's for the proper forum at the proper time. Remembering he's already been in court saying a totally separate thing. Carlton, there are in excess of 6 million Australians watching you now. How good were TV ratings in the 80s, by the way?
Six
Out.
million.
6 million.
Or 92. Yeah, that's...
Well, they had half a channel.
Yeah. There are in excess of 6 million Australians watching you now, and you are prepared to wear the accusation that you've purged yourself without putting a counter-argument? Hancock, I've worn these sort of allegations for 10 years. Perjury, bashings, you name it. They've alleged it.
Who? Sorry. I don't think in this one we said anything about bashings.
Arson, stealing my neighbour's car, going on a crazy crime spree. Oh, hang on a second.
Affairs. Multiple affairs. Impersonating a police officer.
Googling answers to the crossword in the morning.
And then coming down and saying, oh, I've had a thought about it. Maybe it's Prague. I think it could be Prague.
Hey, that fits.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, you brought up bashings. Nobody... I didn't say anything about... I said your notes might not have been 100% correct. I didn't say anything about bashing anyone or perjury.
If someone's really got you in a corner, you just throw in a few other things to distract them.
Yeah.
That's what he's done there.
Yeah.
Despite his story changing, which obviously damaged a key part of their case against the brothers, the Chief Justice in 1998 threw out yet another appeal. And Rob Carlton was clearly like, what the heck?
Yeah.
He's like, without a shadow of a doubt, this changes everything. Why won't they walk this back or whatever?
Yeah. And the guys are now free.
Yeah.
But they just really, really want to
go, we can't have cops being seen to just be making up evidence.
Yeah.
That'll harm people's respect in the system. But covering it up for a decade plus afterwards, and the courts being, kind of almost complicit in it now, just going, nah, that all seems fine. There was also, this gives you a bit more insight into the Silver Fox as a person. The brothers secretly recorded him at their house, I guess, during the investigation. For some reason, it wasn't able to be played in court at the time, but it has come to light since.
Right. You can't have secret recordings, but you can have confessions that no one ever wrote.
Yeah. So at one point in this recording, Hancock says, "Don't ever challenge me to do something because I'll fucking well do it, all right? You can rest assured about that." And Peter, the younger, says, "You're mean, Don."
Peter. No wonder they...
You're mean.
You're being a bit of a meanie.
Don, come on.
Oh, something mean. If you challenge me, I'll fucking do it. Don't you worry about that. You're being really full on right now.
Don, can you tone it down?
What is happening?
You're scaring me.
Be fair.
Don, please.
Give me a go. Can I have a go?
It's so mean.
I'm not surprised that they're the one. He's the one that they pulled over and sort of pressured.
Hancock replied to that, "I'm not a mean person, but I'll tell you what. I've done things in my life that you never did, and harder things.
What?
Worse things.
What do you mean?
And if I've got to do them again, well, I'll do them again."
Yeah, I'll swim the English Channel again. I did it once, and I'll do it again.
It was hard, but it was rewarding, okay?
I trained for ages.
Things you never did.
You can't even swim backstroke.
So strange. And
Very odd.
yeah. Ray goes, what, in the line of duty? He's obviously fishing for him to own up to some stuff. And Hancock goes, "That's it, yes. What I believe is my line of duty, to get the job done."
Oh.
It's sort of like
He's
clearly
a psycho.
Yeah.
He's mean.
Yes.
It's
yes.
me.
You're mean,
It's
Don.
so fun. I like reading that at the time when I put that in. I didn't realize how funny that is.
Calling a
Do you want
cop
me-
by their first name feels illegal.
Don, you're
Don.
mean.
When my bike got stolen and I had to email the police officer, she gave me her email and I had to email her some photos and I had to message my best friend who's a cop because I was like, what do I call her? Like, do I say like, hi, constable? She's like, her name. I was like, can I just write like, hello, Elise? She's like, yes.
Really?
You can call cops by their first names. Unless you're in trouble, then probably just like be respectful or something. But I wasn't in trouble. But I was like, that feels illegal.
Dear officer.
Yeah. I'm like, hello.
Maybe it was more like, maybe he said it more like, this would have been around the time of Muriel's wedding, that classic line.
You're terrible,
You're
Muriel.
terrible, Muriel. Maybe it's like,
You're
you're
mean,
mean,
Don.
Don.
Don, you're mean.
You're mean. You're the worst.
Oh
You
my God.
are mean.
Don,
Yeah.
you're terrible.
Don, you
Yes.
devil.
I'm a bad boy.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Don. You enjoyed that a little too much.
So, yeah, they're out now, but they're still convicted for quite big crimes, and that's following him around. It doesn't help with work and other such things.
At that point, you're out of prison, which is obviously the first part of the goal is to get out of prison. So if you had done it and managed to get out of prison early, you'd go, I'm just going to take that as the win, try to get on with whatever kind of life I can have.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're still fighting it and trying to prove their innocence does indicate or they're stupid, or they're
like,
really dumb.
This is the only way. This guy Don caught us. He ruined our life.
Yeah, we got to ruin
Now we're going to
him.
ruin his life
Yeah.
and reputation. But I am more likely leading towards they're just trying to clear their name because
And that's from me watching a lot of Criminal Minds.
Well, you now have a criminal
I
mind.
have Criminal Minds.
So if you put yourself in your own criminal mind,
Yes.
you you're out, but you're still convicted.
I'm out of where?
Out of jail,
Okay.
Fremantle prison.
But am I in the trees?
You're missing a finger. You're on the ground.
Roger that.
You're neither in the trees or in the ground or on it.
I'm on the ground. I'm walking.
Okay, you're walking along.
you're walking in.
Do you try and appeal again, or do you let it go?
Appeal.
Okay. So you did or didn't do it?
So you didn't ask that
Well,
initially.
this is the key bit.
Let's go back in.
Okay.
Start me again. I'm missing a finger.
All right.
I don't know what finger it is. I've decided it's the smallest one.
And it's in a bucket.
It's
Someone flushed it in
it's
a bucket.
flushed in
I'm not getting it out of there.
Yeah, I've got disgusting.
I'm not, Dave. I actually need less from you. You're actually very distracting. You actually bring me out of my criminal mind. I need you to shut the fuck up.
All
I
right,
will
Jess.
only listen to Matt. Yes, Matt.
You're innocent.
Uh-huh.
You've done a stretch of 8 years
Yes.
for a crime you did not commit.
Yep. I'm walking. I'm on the ground. I'm not in the ground. I'm not in the trees. I'm missing a finger.
Part of the A team?
You're out of prison
I
now.
said less from you.
Sorry.
Now,
Yes, I'm innocent.
the opportunity comes up to appeal again.
Yep.
Do you appeal or do you just move on with your life?
Move on.
Okay.
What happened?
So if you're innocent, you move on. So I don't think we got any clarity here at all.
That worked.
I think I mean, I'm not denying that it worked.
I'm actually out of my criminal mind, but I still need less from you. I still need less from you.
All right.
Something about it's very grating, very shrill, your voice.
What are you talking about?
We're not done with the twists, though.
What?
Really?
Let me take you
No.
to the 1st of October
Oh my God, did Don do it?
in the year 2000. It's the night of the Sydney Olympics closing ceremony.
I'm familiar.
We all remember.
Of course. Where were you? Probably on my couch watching.
Yes.
You were
Cheering
on
on.
my couch.
Yeah. That's where we first met.
Members of the Kalgoorlie chapter of the Gypsy Joker bikie gang, including Billy Garrison, Graham Slim Slater, and Sydney Reed, were drinking at the historic Orabanda Inn, a pub about 70 k's north of Kalgoorlie. So quite remote, relatively remote, outback Western Australia.
I said Carl Gooley, and that's a bit funny.
Kalgoorlie, sorry.
Kalgoorlie.
Kalgoorlie.
Carl's Ghoulies.
Oh, rotten Carl's Ghoulies. Sorry, Carl.
Sorry about that, Carl. It was an accident.
I've run over Carl's Goolies.
They were just lying on the road, Carl. You shouldn't be sleeping right next to it. They're hanging out of your ball bags out of your sleeping bag.
My balls were hot.
Need to air them out.
Does that ever happen?
Oh, yeah.
Just balls get hot?
Hot balls. Yeah,
God.
but they do that. They've got their own system. When they get hot, they drop lower.
Yeah, they're cool. They call themselves. They got cooling
Balls are
tanks.
so cool.
Balls are the coolest.
You wish you had them. You wish.
They're a real beautiful bit of tech.
Oh my God, yeah.
Beautiful bit of kit,
They
that.
really it's figured it out, you know?
I think if you ever want to prove to someone that God exists,
Yeah.
and there's like whatever creative design, what's the God design called?
God design,
Yeah, the belief that God designed humans and stuff.
like creation.
Creation. If you want to prove creationism, show them a pair of balls.
Yeah.
You think nature came up with that?
Come on, mate.
That's the work of an artist.
You think that's evolution?
Come on.
All right, mate.
That's the work of a god, and probably the god. Anyway, so
Closing ceremony.
it's night
yeah.
of the
In
closing
Kalgoorlie,
ceremony.
some bikers are watching.
Which is a long, long way away from the Olympics, can we say?
Yes.
That's true. Other side of the country. So these bikies start getting a bit rowdy
What?
at the pub.
Bikies.
Yeah, and according,
Bikies drinking. Get ready. What?
yeah,
No, I've heard everything.
their gang's literally called the Gypsy Jokers. Come on,
Yeah.
they're jokers,
Lighten
having fun. So yeah, they're getting a bit wild. And according to journalist Luke Elliott, witnesses that night said they used crude language, some of which was directed towards barmaid Alison Hancock. Alison Hancock?
Oh.
Oh, does that surname ring a bell?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Herbie?
amongst
Herbie Hancock's sister.
is that him? Does he do like sort of smooth jazz or something?
I've no idea who Herbie is.
Does jazz.
I don't know how
Is there any
smooth
other
it
kind? So yeah, amongst all the other goings on,
Crude language. Bumhead.
Oh,
Which
okay.
Outback, you don't hear that much in the Outback.
No.
At a pub 70 k's north of Kalgoorlie.
Bumhead or
Very-
crude language?
No,
Crude
they don't hear
language.
They don't go that far.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they were being a bit rude to the barmaid there.
The
Hancock.
barmaid there, who just happens to have the surname Hancock. So amongst all the other goings on, the Silver Fox, Hancock, had become a much lauded head of the State Criminal Investigation Bureau. And some say that he made it to the top in part after getting convictions in this case. He cracked this case. It was a big deal.
Right, huge high profile.
Wow.
He eventually retired and he ended up running a pub. This very pub.
Really?
70 k's outside of Kalgoorlie. Hancock saw that his daughter was copying stick from these rowdy bikies and he booted them from the pub. They went over to the racetrack just in the same town and continued drinking around their campfire. Then, according to Elliot, at about 7:45, a sniper's bullet rang out across the Orabanda racetrack, striking the campfire where the bikies were sitting. Minutes later, a second bullet thudded into Mr. Grierson's back, killing the 39-year-old bikie within seconds.
What the fuck?
Holy shit! This is quite the twist.
Yeah. The snipers shot stunned investigators. They believe the shooter used a high-powered rifle from a range of up to 300 meters in dark and difficult conditions.
So you got to be a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have like training in how to use a gun.
Yeah.
Like me, I've never held a gun. I probably couldn't do it.
Yeah, it would be a real fluke to
You
pop
couldn't hold
someone
a gun.
at 300 meters.
What's up? What's down?
All right,
Where's
mate.
this
At
go?
least I could hold 2 kilos. Okay.
Do they have any guns under 2 kilos?
I need a little bit.
Yeah, I'm at the firing range. What else you got?
What have we got in a petite pistol?
They give you a kid's one.
What a pistol.
It is not known whether the sniper meant to hit Mr. Grierson or if the shots were a warning to get the bikies to leave the small settlement. Nobody has been charged over Mr. Grierson's murder, and technically the case, dubbed Operation Sandalwood, remains with the police cold case unit. But Mr. Hancock was long regarded as the prime suspect.
Well, yeah.
There had been tension, this is still from the article by Elliot. There had been tension between Mr. Hancock and Mr. Grierson inside the pub, as we mentioned. They were using crude language. Directed
Buttheads.
Yeah. At a coronial...
Sorry to swear.
I'm actually so, like, I was really anti this guy, but now I'm like, this bikie gang starts harassing his daughter. He kicks him out and then absolutely fucks up the whole gang. Like, that is so badass.
You really do have the mentality of a judge. Judge, jury, and executioner.
Like, wow.
I feel like
I'm
it's
also terrified of this guy, and I'm really hoping he's no longer alive.
I feel like it's a huge overreaction. If you're a bartender, people have said crook shit to you. I mean, just any kind of customer service role, people say crook shit.
Yeah, but we don't know how crook it was. It might have been really out of line, and he's just gone, that's my daughter.
I'm going to kill you. Kick him out, sure. Scare him, okay.
Which maybe you meant to do.
Kill him. I feel like that is an overreaction.
I think the truth
As a daughter,
lies somewhere in between here.
As a daughter, I think that's an overreaction.
Shoot him, but don't kill him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's I'm just saying that's a bad
If
ass.
they've been calling me a butthead, I'm shooting him in the butt. You know what I mean?
This is just an interesting little insight into Dave's
I
mind.
know.
You're not impressed by that?
Look,
no.
Like how badass that is.
Dave, Jess and I are journalists, and we're telling a story here.
Yeah, we also don't know if he did it. He might have been
You're more of a shock
coincidental.
jock commentator.
Yeah, you're
You're
Kyle.
getting inside the story.
Call in now. When have you shot off a sniper rifle?
Still back to the article. At a coronial inquest into the death, the head cook at the inn testified that she saw Mr. Hancock rev his car and leave the premises shortly after closing the doors and ejecting the bikies.
That is a bad boy.
She also testified that Mr. Hancock's wife, Elizabeth, told her that he had gone to get his gun. So, I mean, a couple of things that you go, okay. Mr. Hancock was also described as being uncooperative with officers investigating the murder, and there were suggestions he might have tried to neutralise any gunshot residue from his hands by eating an orange, as citrus juice is widely believed to affect gunshot residue.
Oh my gosh. That is a fact I didn't know before this show.
You're wearing orange.
I am.
And you're always rubbing your hands with orange juice.
Try and dust me down.
He does drink a lot of orange juice.
I had some this morning.
Oh my
You
God.
have some every morning.
How do you know?
Because I know you.
You do know me.
What did I have this morning?
You would have had avocado toast.
I didn't.
What did you have?
I had a smoothie. I was still drinking it when I got here, you fuckhead. Crude language.
Jess, please don't. Crude language gets you killed in Dave's mind.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no.
An eye for an eye, a language for a shot.
It would usually be avocado toast. You're right.
So yeah, some are like, it seems like it was probably him. The sniper's gun was never found, and Mr. Hancock did have an alibi, which was his wife, Mrs. Hancock, telling detectives that her husband was home watching the Sydney Olympics closing ceremony. Obviously, he revved his engine, went and got his gun, sat on the couch, watched the closing ceremony.
And then
watched Midnight Oil perform Beds Are Burning.
And then did he get? They were like, all right, what were the Romanian team wearing?
Oh,
Get him on that.
got him. I don't know. I was too busy getting rid of I've
said too much.
Is it? It's interesting that he was like the the cops who were investigating were like, he was very uncooperative.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a detective.
Yeah.
But isn't it, I guess, builders they never bring their work home.
That's
So
right.
a similar
Builders
sort of
never
thing.
build when they get home.
That's what they say.
It's like chefs don't want to cook at home sometimes. Builders don't want to build. Let me tell you. I had a brother who was a builder, never built me anything.
Really?
Got home from work, he'd be like, don't make me build.
There is a stereotype, though. Like, carpenters will have a lot of unfinished work around their home. That's all I'm saying.
No. Always finishes his work.
Doesn't he live in a mobile home?
Yes, he does. He lives on an island.
A man is on an
Must be
island.
nice.
I keep telling him that.
Nice. I mean,
Keep
we
telling him.
technically live on an island as well, but he lives on a much
And
smaller
it is
island.
very nice.
Depending on who you ask, but some people say Australia isn't an island because it's a continent. It's very confusing. I don't
Hey,
understand.
but it's fucking both.
In a trivia scenario, Dave, largest island in the world, do you accept Australia?
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
No, because it's boring.
Trivia to you. We're realizing what a maverick you are.
So then what answer? What is the answer?
Was it Madagascar?
Yes, is it?
Look it up, Jess, quick.
Well, it's probably going to say Australia. Largest island in the world. New Guinea.
Ah. There you go.
Is that right?
Which it says island in Australia.
What?
And that's not...
What?
I mean, it's very close to us, yes. Very close. It says New Guinea.
Well, this one also
By
says...
area.
This one also says Greenland.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I've seen Greenland
Okay.
before. Yeah, but it is confusing. Anyway, because like growing up at school, we were told Australian, it's an island. The island continent, right? But anyway. So Hancock, his wife, she's both said to the cook, and I imagine she wasn't stoked that the cook was giving up this info. Yeah, he's just gone to get his gun. But then she's like, no, he was watching the Olympics closing ceremony with me. And then later she's like, it's absolutely ridiculous that these allegations have even been made. You don't know the man he was, etc. He's a beautiful man.
Beautiful man.
So anyway, this is still from Elliot. The gun was never found, blah, blah, blah. Hancock was never charged, and his family consistently denied he had any involvement. Within days of Mr. Grierson's murder, the Hancocks left Urubanda amid safety concerns. In the days and weeks that followed, their Urubanda properties were firebombed, so they were right to leave.
Wow.
There were rumours that the bikies had a 12-month deadline to avenge Mr. Grierson's death, and on September the 1st, 2001, 11 months after the murder, it happened. Mr. Hancock and his mate Lou Lewis were killed in a car bombing.
Whoa.
What?
This is a crazy story.
Yeah. So, yeah, isn't it wild? Like, you think of us, like, these don't feel like classic Australian crimes,
No.
but this is pretty recent. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah, and look, okay.
But then there have been these popular series like Underbelly about.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, there's definitely like crime families and
underworld figures.
underworld stuff.
And it's like when I moved in to the place I live now, the guy in the unit behind me said, don't worry if you hear gunshots. The bikies only ever shoot at each other.
Which is
like that.
comforting, yeah.
Yeah, very comforting. And it's like...
But did you double check that you're not a bikie?
Yeah.
Just in case?
I Googled it.
You got a DNA test?
What is a bike?
Am I a bikie?
I own a bike. Different bike, okay.
But yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that's like... There's underworld killings and stuff.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, you're not walking around expecting your car to be exploded.
No.
But yeah, Lou Lewis, his mate, was his bookie as well. And I think all upstanding cops have one of those.
Yeah.
Private, off-the-books bookie.
So that you don't do it yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, it does seem like he was an innocent bystander, which is brutal. One of the investigating cops said, a guy called Mr. Brown said, it was a scene of devastation. The explosion was such that the materials, debris, and other items were strewn over dozens of houses to neighbouring streets. It was a huge explosion. One of the bikies, Sidney Reed, soon confessed to his role in the bombing and also fingered his bikie mate Graham Slim Slater.
I'm really proud that I wasn't the first to giggle. I was like, you know what? I'm going to power through this time and I'm not going to point it out that I hear behind me a little.
I thought you both did very well when
Thank
I early
you.
said that The two police officers say Mickelberg confessed when they wrote down word for word as he gave it to them orally. I thought you did really well just letting that
It's really hard to concentrate. And they've got steady penmanship.
go. Yeah.
They're getting word for word.
I
Wow.
was very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah.
But we did not get through fingered.
No. So Reed fingers Slater, and then Slater was charged with the double murder, but was acquitted by a Supreme Court jury in 2003.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, what does this all have to do with the Perth Mint swindle? Well, quite a lot. Because with Don the Silver Fox Hancock out of the way, his partner Anthony Lewandowski was ready to come clean.
What?
Yes. Interestingly, he came clean to the journalist and author Avon Lovell. Lovell had been working him to try to get the truth through all these years. He'd stuck with this story. He's like,
Wow.
there's something dodgy going on here and I want to get to the bottom of it. And eventually they almost became friends, strangely. Here is some of what Lewandowski said. It's all on camera, which you can also watch. Chunks of it were played on 60 Minutes.
Wow.
So these are quotes from Lewandowski. When Don Hancock was alive, there was no chance of me going against his wishes. A couple of times I wanted to come clean, but there was no way I could go against Don. He also said that Don implicitly said that he would kill Lewandowski's son if he ever told the truth. Fuck. So Lewandowski was pretty messed up. He was clearly like he'd done a lot of bad things, but he was, fried by all of this. Recalling the 1982 incident at Belmont Station, Lewandowski states, I said to Don Hancock that I didn't believe we had enough evidence, and he said to me, don't worry, it will get better. Like he's sort of like, we'll get some. And he continues, on that day, Don Hancock came into the room and told me to make Peter strip naked. Don then went up to Peter and gave him 2 or 3 quick punches in the solar plexus. The statements purportedly taken from Peter Mickelberg on July 26, 1982 were in fact not taken in Peter's presence that day, but were a fabrication made by Don Hancock and myself shortly after the 2nd of September 1982. I gave evidence at the trial and numerous appeals. All that evidence in relation to the brothers' so-called confessions was false. And he said,
They wrote it months later.
Yeah. And he said, if he told the truth at the time, they never would have been convicted.
Ooh.
Lewandowski took his own life soon after this confession.
Oh, my God.
No.
Lovell, the journalist and author, was the one who found him. And in the end, because they had become friends, he was actually a pallbearer at the funeral.
Oh, that's brutal.
Despite his, it's so tricky because it's like he was a really dodgy cop, and this is just one story you know about.
Yeah.
Ruining the lives of these 3 brothers. It's such a messy.
Yes, but he was also so scared. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, but in the end, did the right thing eventually.
Yeah.
Which he could have gone to his grave without coming clean, I suppose. Despite his confessions that they fabricated the evidence and also that they would never have been convicted if he'd told the truth, Lewandowski actually went to his grave still believing the Mickelbergs did it, saying, oh, there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. I'm convinced that they did it, and it's the end of the story. So in his mind, They did it. We sort of fitted them up, but that's only because we didn't have the evidence to prove that they did what we believe they did.
That I know that they did, yeah.
Which, if you know that they did it, you probably would have evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, he might have a strong suspicion. Your job isn't to make up evidence, though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I know Dave, by the sounds of what Dave's been saying, that he probably disagrees with this.
No, that's right. Some people say beyond reasonable doubt, but I say, what is reasonable? You know what I mean? It's how I feel that day.
Yeah. It's where, you want to get Dave after a good meal. Probably a morning session with Dave. You get him in the afternoon, you're fucked.
Oh, God, just wrap this up. Guilty. Get him
Next.
out.
Let's go.
Next up, who else we got?
Next up, a large pizza.
I want to get out of here before traffic gets bad.
Something you might be wondering about is the fingerprint evidence.
Yes.
How's that done?
Don't tell me that was dodgy too.
Sounds like it could well have been faked. According to the AAP, it would have been easy for the police to get hold of a mold of Ray's finger, which is funny because he probably needed
Is
one.
that how they got it?
Imagine. No, they already had it before.
Oh, okay.
That. But apparently one of Ray's hobbies was casting hands in brass, plastic, rubber and perspex. He had all these...
What?
He had about 20 hands at his home when the police first arrived.
No,
and several
Ray.
were taken away for inspection.
Ray, what are the chances, Ray?
Isn't that so unlucky? What a unlucky hobby to
I've
have.
got this really weird hobby where I write out confessions and then I sign my
For
name
various
to them.
crimes.
Various crimes. I did a murder. Signed.
I don't put
did
the
an
dates
arson,
in.
Signed. Yeah.
I leave out like specific details and
It's just a fun
dates.
It's like a
thing I
Mad
do.
Lib type thing. You can fill in all the things I did.
Yeah.
It's already signed.
I did ... You fill it in. Signed, Ray. Just for fun. You
Just
know,
a bit of
I'm
fun.
not doing it professionally.
No, but I like to work on my penmanship
Yeah, exactly.
and
Do it for family and friends.
I find it helps me get out of my head.
It's
You
like
know?
a creative writing exercise.
Yeah, it's mindfulness. It's a mindfulness exercise, actually.
Ray.
We all have to practice a bit of mindfulness. For me, it's writing out confessions to things I did.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Wow.
I'm like, how unlucky is that?
Yeah.
Finally, from Mays. The brothers had the smoking gun evidence of the innocence they had long protested, with Lewandowski's revelation ultimately seeing their convictions overturned in 2004.
They were.
Yep. Raymond and Peter Mickelberg went on to be awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars for their wrongful convictions and won an apology from the police in 2007.
Shit.
It's amazing how many years longer it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
But are we
25 years
sorry
later?
about this? 25 years later, and quite a few years after they've said it's
was-
been public that
It's wrongful.
it's wrong.
Maybe they had a real backlog of apologies they had to get. So it's just the waiting time.
So this Hancock guy did a lot of stuff. It's taken us ages to get to this one.
It's honestly exhausting.
So, yes, apparently they're not super happy with the amount of, like, they were behind bars for quite a few years and, you know, lost those years in life and reputation and all the rest. And they got about $500,000 and apparently they're like, that's not enough.
That's not enough. We had $6 million in gold.
Yeah. Anyway, who was behind the Perth Mint swindle remains a mystery to this day. It's a mystery episode.
Yes! Wow.
Clapping for the mystery.
What do you think?
I mean, I have no idea. It's one of those ones where you're like, did them focusing on these three guys mean that the cops just missed another group
Yeah.
who might have done it, or
Yep.
you know, I mean, it's hard to be sure of anything really. I don't think the investigation was good at any point. So how do you know anything? But obviously you can see that they might have done it. I don't know, which must be brutal if they didn't. That's just forever hanging over their heads.
Yeah. That if we
Maybe they
might
did,
have. Yeah. Wow.
But I would say even if they had, you know, they've been punished
Yes.
above and aboard. Above and aboard?
Above and beyond?
Above and beyond.
Above and aboard.
It's all above board. Yeah, so wild story. I couldn't believe
So many twists and turns. My God.
when I read that Hancock had a car bomb, and I'm like, oh, and it was just in some articles, just sort of a throwaway, thought to be a revenge for a bikie thing. I'm like, there's got to be more to this. I was like, holy shit!
There's a lot more.
Yeah. Wow.
There have been a couple of TV films made about it. One called The Perth Mint Swindle, I think.
Okay.
I don't know how they got the name,
creative
but-
with the title.
But yeah, and you can sort of see why it's a wild story.
Yeah.
So the Great Gold Swindle in 1984. Brian Mickelberg, the helicopter pilot, was played by the Hey Dad guy,
Oh,
who's since, I think, a convicted sex offender.
correct. Yep.
And then in 2012, the Great Mint Swindle, which has Grant Bowler as Ray Mickelberg. You know him? He's like the host of The Mole, The Mole
Yes.
Australia.
Yep. I
there
was
you
like,
go.
I know that name.
I think he was on Blue Healers and other such things.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look up what Don Hancock looked like. So I've done a Google image search and there's an image. You're like, yep, I can see what they call him, the silver fox or the silver, what do they call him? Silver wolf?
The Grey Fox.
The grey fox. But another image that comes up is a a photo of the exploded car after the bomb.
Yeah.
There is not much left.
No.
Wow.
It is. Show it to Jess. Really
Whoa.
blew it up.
Shit.
Wow, terrifying.
Yeah. What a story.
What a story.
According to his wife as well, she sort of said that I think he knew that he was, a revenge attack was coming. And apparently he said to her, at least if they take me down, the bikies will get cleaned up a bit as well. And since then, I don't know if you remember the pretty full-on bikie laws over in WA. They were in response to a lot of this stuff.
Ah. I don't remember the full-on bikie laws because
They were called-
I was a teenager and didn't give a shit about bikies or the law.
Back then.
Back then, now I care passionately about
Yeah,
bikies.
you're
but-
like, oh, come on.
and I regret ever spending any time not thinking about bikies. So I make up for it now by doing nothing but thinking about bikies. That's why I don't remember so much of this podcast. I'm not listening. I'm thinking about bikies.
So this is a good crossover.
This is a good one. This one I've retained some of it.
Just quickly Googled bikie laws WA. A person can be jailed for up to 12 months and fined $12,000 for consorting contrary to a notice or displaying gang insignia in a public place, including gang tattoos and patches.
Wow.
So jailed up to 12 months for wearing a bikie jacket.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Reasonable.
Okay. Well, does that bring us to everyone's favourite section of the show?
I believe it does.
Hang on. I got to do a bit of calculations here. See if it's right. Okay. Carry the 2. Yes!
Oh my God.
That was some quick math from
That
me.
was quick math.
Thank you.
Well, that brings us to everyone's favourite section of the show where we get to thank some of our fantastic supporters. And if you want to be one of those supporters, go to patreon.com/DoGoOnPod. You get all sorts of things. You can get ad-free episodes. You get 3, nearly 4 bonus episodes a month. Nearly, I mean that to say that we're in the process of getting a 4th new episode every month on the bonus. It's going to be a D&D show. Freaking excited. And we can't wait to be a dungeon and or a dragon. And you also get access to the Facebook group, the beautifulest place in the world.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's so kind. People genuinely love it in there. I've seen other ones. There's a few others of other podcasts around that purport to be beautiful places, but they've got nothing. They look like bullshit compared to our corner of the internet.
Have you seen the curtains those guys are
Oh
using?
my
Yeah.
God, just so embarrassing.
And I would say I wouldn't use this kind of negativity inside there because it just would stick out like a sore thumb. In
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
it's all beautiful. It's
In there,
all
I'd be
positive.
saying, did you see their curtains? Lovely shade of mauve.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say anything, to be
Oh.
honest, because I don't think if you don't want to say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Right, I just lie.
But yeah, there's a bunch of other things. You get to, shout outs and all these sort of things. If you sign up on the Sydney Scheinberg level, you get to be in the Fact Quote or Question section, which is what we're about to do. It actually has a jingle go something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
He always remembers the being. She always remembers the singing.
What made you laugh?
don't know.
Because it got me.
Widget the World Watcher.
Ding, 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 ding.
So in this section, we get some of the people on the Sydney Scheinberg level or above, and they get to give us a fact, a quote, or a question, or a brag, or a suggestion, or really whatever they like. And I read 4 of them out each week if we have that many good to go, which we do this week. So first up, I should also say they get to give themselves a title. First up, we've got Harrison and Rebecca Ellis. What a power couple they've proven to be. And their title is Mr. and Mrs.
Mr. and Mrs.
Okay.
I think that's the first time someone's used it legitimately.
I love it.
I like it.
We've been doing this. This is like the 918th fact quote or question we've read out. First time someone's used it legit. And they've chosen to give us a review.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Writing good pod, 5 stars.
Oh, thank
It
God.
was not us then.
Yeah, what show is that? I'll give it a listen.
Listened to a fantastic episode of My Favourite Murder last week. It was beautiful.
Good, but good.
Yeah.
5 stars.
5 stars. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison Rebecca Ellis. Next one comes from Andriana Ginaldi. I'm remembering that because in previous times, Andriana has written out the name phonetically, and I think I remember that.
That's how you
Which
get
I
it.
nearly never do remember things.
You don't remember shit.
You got to write it again and
You
again.
don't remember his name every week.
Andriana has trusted me and hasn't even written out phonetically this time, so hopefully I've got that right.
You did use the hand movement to get the the emphasis.
Yeah, well, go back to the old country, use your hands a bit more. Anyway, Andriana, aka Resident Dougal Stationery Collector, has a question. Do we have much stationery to
Do you
collect?
remember once I made Christmas pens and gave them as a gift to you?
I do remember.
Did you make them or were they just like a free sample?
No, the thing was, I got suckered in by Vistaprint or one of those like, online printing things. The first year we printed Christmas cards when we were doing them by hand, and there was only a few hundred.
Oh my God.
At the end, it said...
Only a few hundred.
You can get... I know, it took so long. It said you can get this image from the card on a pen for like, a few dollars for each pen. I was like, well, I'm going to get Christmas pens for us to write with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I still have mine, but...
I think mine's
I don't know
somewhere.
if you got sucked in there, did you? You just bought a thing.
It was an add-on though. They
Yeah.
upsold
Yeah, it's
him.
an upsell. It's an upsell at the end. I also got the computer mouse pad.
Business card.
Bottle opener.
Yeah.
I've got a full doona with our face. Christmas. It says Merry Christmas.
Full doona?
Full doona. Yeah, king size.
I don't know why Doona sounded
Doona.
funny that time.
It's a funny word.
Doona.
It's a funny word.
Do not go on. So, Andriana has a question. Writing, hi gang, I'm an avid letter writer and love to keep in contact with friends and pen pals through letters.
I love that.
Do you like to write letters? And how do you feel when you get non-junk mail? Thanks. Oh man, I feel very good.
The only
It nearly never happens though.
Yeah, the only
Yes.
non-junk mail that I get is like bills, and I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
kind of like, email
I count that
me
in
this.
the junk
Junk
mail
mail, yeah,
world.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's personal, like it's sent to me.
Yeah, the only personals I'll get birthday card, Christmas card from mum,
Yep.
mailed. Appreciate that, mum. But apart from that,
Because you don't speak in person anymore, do you?
we only...
There's been quite a long rift between
Yeah.
you two.
You and your mum.
Your pen pals only.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
call your dad pen pop.
Pen pop?
Pen pop.
Oh, no, Dad and I speak every day on the
okay.
phone, but it's just me and mum.
Pen papa.
Yeah, Christmas birthday card from grandma, and then wedding invitations sometimes.
Oh, they're
And
lovely.
that's about it.
Yeah, but I do say when mum's
Even
card
they're
comes... like,
emailed often these days.
Yeah.
I do appreciate when mum's card comes in because it is so novel.
Yeah.
You see your name written out in hand, by hand.
Yeah.
And but it's not. There's no bill. There's
But
no.
no, I don't send letters because you got to get stamps. My mum always just had stamps in her wallet, like because you needed stamps all the time. I don't think I've ever bought stamps in my adult life.
I had to buy some recently because they'd put everything up maybe 10 cents for a letter, and I had to send something into an insurance company. They wanted you to sign a contract by hand, get it witnessed, and then mail it in. And I got to the post office, and the guy's like, "This isn't enough." So I had to. No, I think it had gone up by 5 cents. So I had to buy three 5-cent stamps to add on to the 3 letters. That I
Oh
was
my
sent. Yeah, very
God.
annoying.
So annoying. 15 cents. And did you have to put that on card?
I did. I had to put 15 cents on a card.
That feels ridiculous. So yeah, no, I don't send a lot of letters, but some of my texts to friends are basically letters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've noticed you've gotten into like voice messages for friends as well.
Oh yeah, there's a particular group chat that's mostly videos and voice chats, voice memos. It's fun. It's like a little podcast.
And when you don't get a junk voice message, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it fills my heart with glee. But it is upsetting when you're like, oh, a 2-minute voice memo, fantastic. And you say, what's Carla got to say this week? And then you listen to it, and the first 30 seconds are an ad.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, bloody hell.
My favourite brewery, I'm still so brokenhearted about this. Favourite brewery in the world has decided to close down.
No.
It's just like the craft brewery industry in Australia is in tough times coming out of COVID and all these tax bills that were they were given like leeway of a few years, and now they're like, all right,
Cough
it's like,
up.
We want it in full now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is this actually? Did you really give them anything apart from just delaying the pain? But yeah, so it's such a bummer. But I ordered a heap of their beers, and that arrived
Nice.
this week.
Well, which brewery is it? They're still going for final orders?
I think they'll be wrapped up by now. Unfortunately, it's such a shame. Really
sucks.
brutal. But yeah, they're
But
the best.
beer delivery is fun.
Deeds Brewery, so good.
Deeds
yeah,
Brewery?
Deeds brewery.
Oh, right. That's a real shame.
Probably
Yeah, but
so many of my favourite all-time beers. I reckon if I did like a top 50, they would have like 30 of them or something.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's great.
But yeah, beer delivery. That's a
That's
good
fun.
one.
I get a lot of packages. Do a lot of online shopping. Not a lot of
But
letters,
it's all
though.
junk.
It's all junk.
Straight
I
to the
buy
bin.
so much junk.
Yeah, I
I
love
throw
the
it
idea.
straight out.
I had a pen pal for a little while
Yeah,
back when I
same.
was like 16 or something. I
Yeah.
met this girl at a party and she actually from Perth and she was just over for a holiday and we took down each other's details and we sent these letters back and forth. It was
That's
really
nice.
It was really nice. Yeah.
Tasteful nudes in this. No, your children, never mind.
No, they weren't tasteful.
Junk.
Very accurately drawn.
Junk.
That was junk. Yeah.
Bit of fun.
Here's
fun.
my junk.
But yeah, how about you, Jess? Who was your pen pal?
It was somebody, I think it was through a magazine. You wrote into them and they connected you with somebody.
You think that the
Prison.
Do you think the person was real?
Yes, I do.
Dear TV Hits. That's a weird name.
Dear Dolly Doctor.
Yeah, I wrote back and forth a couple
Oh,
of times.
that's really cool.
we
That's
do
nice.
occasionally get mail here at Stupid Old Studios. Well, I think we've had a few little things.
Yeah.
We had that one with from Detroit pitching
Yes.
us to do an episode about, was it the Marx Brothers?
It was, and we got a book.
Book and some rubber duckies.
Yep,
Yeah,
and some
And
chocolate.
I got a Detroit Tigers t-shirt.
I got a magnet.
It was very nice.
I've got to say, I've put the Marx Brothers up for the vote, but it didn't quite get there, I'm afraid.
Hey, you've done all that you can do.
And I should say, I've worn the t-shirt quite a bit,
Oh, that's great.
despite the baseball team not being very good. But anyway, Andriana, did you... Oh, no, I don't think... Didn't answer their own question, Andriana. That's something just to note for future. Ask a question, answer a
I
question,
imagine
please.
they get excited because they have multiple pen pals.
Yeah, I
and
think-
friends.
That's so nice.
That's really nice. I like it a
That's a
lot.
lovely way to stay in touch with people. Nice little mementos to have. That's lovely.
Thank you so much, Andriana. Next one comes from Stephen Edmonds, a.k.a. provider of niche Melbourne architectural trivia.
Ooh, I'm
He
listening.
moved on from his recipe era.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Stephen gave us some great recipes.
Uh,
Bit of baking. I baked a cake this week.
Really? What kind?
Just chocolate cake. Just felt like cake.
That's awesome. Did
Just
you like
baked it and I've eaten most of it.
That's
There's a little bit left at home.
That's how it should work.
Just a bit of cake. Yum.
Could have brought it in, but I appreciate you didn't because
No.
I'm trying to be good. All right, so
It's my cake. Fuck you.
Just as orders us some cookies. It's true. They're on their way.
Stephen has a fact writing. On Collins Street in Melbourne are the remnants of 5 historic buildings from the late 19th century. The westernmost of these buildings is the Rialto. At 4 stories plus an attic, the building was restored and converted into a hotel in the 1980s. Constructed in the early 1980s were a pair of interconnected towers, which at the time was the tallest office building in the Southern Hemisphere. This building is Rialto Towers and takes its name from the adjacent Rialto building.
Oh,
Man, I'm loving this, Stephen.
I did not know
This is
that.
so fantastic. I didn't know that either, to be honest. And I love the Rialto.
You love the Rialto.
and the original Rialto is so much smaller.
Yeah.
4 stories?
And an attic.
And still, and the building was restored and converted. Oh, man, I got to go stay at this hotel. In the 1990s, buildings at the eastern end of Collins Street took the title of tallest building in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere. First 101 Collins Street and then 120 Collins Street. On the other side of the Yarra River, the Eureka Tower was completed in 2006, becoming the tallest building in Melbourne and the second tallest in Australia. Dave, you'd know what was the tallest
What's the tallest now?
in Australia because it was second tallest.
Oh, it's the one in
Gold Coast
Queensland.
one, right?
Yeah. Is it Gold Coast 101? Is that what it's
Yeah, I
called?
think that's right.
It's not a good name.
For a time, it was also the tallest residential building in the world, Eureka, apparently. Near to the Eureka Tower is
Q1.
Q1.
Maybe is it the new one is 101 Melbourne.
Oh,
I've
right.
stayed at Q1. Anyway.
Sorry, please let Stephen finish his fact.
Stephen may hit this. Near to the Eureka Tower is Australia 108, the current tallest building in Melbourne, and its first super tall skyscraper. I don't know if I would know. I guess I probably would have seen it. Completed in 2020, this building was at one point intended to have 108 floors, hence the name, but was later reduced to 100. But the name did not change.
Like that. This is the one. This is
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one-
yeah. That is very tall.
So it's a
And
very
it's
tall
got that
building, and it's
weird
got this
star thing.
This little yellow star that kind of looks like, I don't know, like a rubber band or something that's been wrapped around the.
Yeah, it's a funny.
I used to walk past that a lot, and you
Glass
look up
tower.
at it and go, "That is very tall. Like it's very
tall.
high."
It's very high.
And it's so funny that it's like probably half the height of the Burj Khalifa or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm absolutely guessing at that, but or maybe even, yeah. But anyway,
I don't think it would even be half.
it wouldn't even be half the, yeah.
Far
Isn't it
out.
amazing? But it's funny that our tallest building in Melbourne, I wouldn't have been able to tell you what it was named until now. Thank you so much, Stephen. I appreciate that. So that is, what was it called? Australia 108.
Yeah, and you can live there. It's amazing. So tall.
What? Yeah, the yellow thing, is that meant to, from at the top, does it look like a star or something? That's what I kind of assumed.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that's the idea of it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to quickly look at that from above. Okay, there's no pictures of it. This one from below sort of shows it though, that it's
Yeah, it looks like a star. We love stars.
pretty sick. Oh yeah, we're one of the few countries that can see them.
The Commonwealth Star on the flag of Australia was used as inspiration for the quote-unquote starburst.
Starburst, love that.
Well,
A visitor has entered the studio, and no, dear listener, it is not Broden Kelly.
what the heck do I hear about being called out on the pod? Here I am, just living my life, enjoying one of my favourite podcasts, and then I get called out on the Trash Man episode.
Oh, did I do it? I love to
Yeah,
give you
it's always
shit.
you.
Marcel, what? So it's
Did I
Marcel
call you
is
the
here.
joke doctor of Australian comedy or something?
Welcome, Marcel. What was the call out? Remind us.
Well, that there was a time where I told you guys, I've repented. This is the thing, I've repented for my sins at early days.
I've got 3 stories, Marcel, and I repeat them at nauseum as if you were a real listener, you'd know.
I drop in and out. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I like it for road trips, and I'm not always on the road.
No, why would you be?
You drop in and out in real life as well, dropping in and out.
I also like do go on in the bath. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out loud or headphones? What are we talking?
I'm not gonna. I would ruin my headphones out loud. I want it to bounce off the bathroom walls.
Wow,
Good
it's so really
acoustics in
echoey.
there.
Yeah.
Matt spent a lot of time in the bath.
It's good for the wet
Yeah,
episodes.
potting in the bath is great. Yeah, any sinkings, it's a
Yeah.
really immersive experience.
Yeah.
You
the
listening to the
Trash
Trash
Man.
Man in the
Yeah,
bath?
exactly.
My God.
You got the
You
full
are the
experience.
trash man in the bath.
How dare you? Anyway, who are we thanking?
So sorry
thinking
about
some
that,
people.
but yeah, if I didn't, I should say, okay, Doctor of Comedy, here we go.
No, it's
what rules have you? So if you don't know, listeners, Marcel will do videos on social media saying, hey, here are things that, like he's Jerry Seinfeld or something, he tells you the rules of comedy. And every time I see one, I'm like, who is this man?
Yeah. Marcel,
Who is it?
your good friend.
Mainly because you're often calling out things I do, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is he subtweeting me again?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
You inspire me. All your behavior. Comedy writers group on Instagram.
Often you can hear in the background me on stage while he's recording it. Okay, just sort of another one. Get a real beef with this.
Don't be a hack.
Yeah.
You walk on stage wearing a hat. Here's what it tells the audience.
Us hat comedians got to stick together.
Well, Marcel, maybe you can help out. Oh, well, this is a brag. The final of the Fat Quarter question. This comes from Adam Chapinski, aka mover, shaker, and reproducer. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Well, this might be, this
Jeez Louise.
might be explained
Must be
by
nice.
the brag. Writing, hi everyone, I'm still on the lookout for a new stove, so don't worry about that. That is a brag. Is that, I think, for the Triptych Club? Because Jess has won.
It was getting repaired.
I was hoping it was just for home renovation. Waiting for the.
I know you really want to know. I am still looking for a stove.
Where do you guys stand on the gas versus hydro debate?
Look, I'm a renter, so whatever is in the place,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
And when you say hydro, what sort of stove are you using?
There's a whole controversy about, renewable gases now, and like that MasterChef is being sponsored by this renewable gas company. They're trying to get more gas stoves in there while everyone else is going, we got to get electricity. So this person looking for a stove, I'm saying,
What are they going to get? They're going for an old school wood fire, I imagine.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly good.
yeah, that's right.
Inside. Beautiful. No
Great for the
ventilation.
environment, great for the household.
Beautiful stuff.
Kids
Anyway,
love
sorry,
it.
Matt.
But anyway, it says still on the lookout for a stove. Don't worry about that. However, this month I'll use the platform to brag about something everyone else is also bragging about, as they should. I'm a little late to the party, but a couple months ago, my wife gave birth to our first child, a baby girl named Gabriella Reese.
Woo!
That's very exciting.
Congratulations.
Oh my god, how's this? She's the cutest baby ever. Holy
Whoa!
fuck, what are the odds of that? That is amazing.
Wow, that record was previously held by my baby, but it's been overtaken already.
Wow, that is exciting stuff.
So with that in mind, I'm officially claiming her as Dugo On's cutest baby. Wow, Dave.
Whoa.
I mean, you've already conceded, but
That's what
there
like-
it is. It's all there in black and white.
I mean,
or is-
they'd never lie.
No. What
On
was
my
that?
screen, it's in blue and black.
No biases here.
No.
But wow, that is amazing. Congratulations on having a baby.
That's lovely.
And fucking at least one time.
Lovely news.
Matt, making love.
Oh, well, we don't know.
It's making love when you're having a baby.
How do you know if it's a mistake when it's the first, Jess? Jess spent a lot of time explaining the rules of when it's a mistake and when it's a blessing and when it was on purpose.
Yeah. I'm 7 years younger than my brother, so I'm a blessing. But anybody 10 years younger than a sibling was a mistake. And I stand by that, I think.
What about your brother?
Yes.
Could have been a mistake.
Oh, he was. That's why they had me.
Yeah, you were
blessing.
You were the blessing because they were planning 7 years later, but they just obviously
They were like, this kid, he's too practical, too logical, bit too smart. We need a little idiot around here.
Don't you think that
Straight man and the silly
Yes.
one. Yeah.
He's very funny.
Your dad as well just didn't know the power of his sprog.
Let's not talk about Jess's dad's.
Thank you,
what?
Marcel. Thank
What?
you.
Okay,
It's
what?
a podcast, not a sprogcast.
I thought this was everything on the table time.
It's not a sprogcast. Are you kidding me? That's good stuff.
So that's why you can make the
think
rules.
I was born 4 years after my middle brother.
That's fine.
And my parents divorced 3 years into my life. Do you think I was like a
Oh, last ditch baby.
last ditch baby?
Save the marriage baby.
Save
No,
the
I
marriage
think they were
baby.
really happy and then had you.
Yeah, before.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
you were a
Oh, I
marriage
ruined
ruiner.
the-
Yeah,
oh,
I think
that's-
you
You
were
were
a
the
ruiner.
straw, probably the camel's back
Can I
baby.
write some of this down for my therapist appointment later on? This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dynamic was perfect until you came along.
That's are you a middle brother?
Yeah, well, see,
He's a baby.
You should know in the comedy there's a thing called the rule of three, and you really fucked that up.
Well, you need the rule of three, though.
Yeah.
The rule of three doesn't ruin the two.
What was it? Mum, dad, other kid? Perfect. You come along.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's this?
Yeah.
The audience is like, what's going on? We've already got three.
Yeah.
No, I'm the third of three boys.
Oh, right. So you said you're the middle. Okay.
It's also too many boys.
Too many boys.
It's my personal hell.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, this story is actually about three boys, three brothers.
Oh, great.
Jess,
Should we restart?
It's pretty good. It was a good story.
Jamie,
hours
pull up
in.
the tape.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Do you
prefer-
Thank you so much for patiently waiting for me to listen to the pod. Now I'm up to date with all
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
intros.
It's very a lot of twists and turns.
That's what I'm talking about. Now I know that joke that you made earlier. Yeah.
The next thing we do, Marcel, as you know, because you listen to us occasionally, is that we shout
You
out
can leave at any time, by the
to
way.
a few of our other great Patreon
Not
supporters.
asking you to, just letting you know that's an option.
I'm committed.
Great.
That's interesting, though. I would say I can't wait to do a video about this later. Podcasting rules.
Podcast pet peeves.
Podcast pet peeves. Okay, guys. All right. It's a very specific thing. You can only do comedy one way. Here's how you do it. I'm Marcel. Anyway, so I can't believe
Matt
that
is
wasn't.
such a bitch.
It's sassy. I love it. I love being talked about. That's why I'm here.
So
The only way to ensure it.
the next thing we do is we shout out to none of our other fantastic supporters. Jess normally comes up with a game based on the topic at hand.
That's true. What'd they steal?
What'd they steal?
It was a mint robbery, a heist.
I know. I just listened to it. I
Yeah.
love a heist
So,
episode.
gold.
You know it was all about gold
No, I'm
bullion.
saying that to Matt because he's already forgotten.
Yeah.
So how do we work this out? I thought we got pretty good with the system, how we each had a role to play. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
read out the names.
I'll say what they stole. Dave says where they stole it from.
And what does Marcel do?
Marcel sits and shuts the fuck up.
I think Marcel maybe adds something interesting to the thing that's been stolen. So
Yeah, okay,
Dave
great.
says what it is, and you give it like an adjective or a whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how you feel.
Cool.
So,
I'll say what they stole.
Where it's
you
from.
say where it's from.
and then Marcel really just slams
It
it.
brings it all together.
Correct.
All right. Here we go. From Meriden in Western Australia. Oh, my God, appropriate. It's Nathan Damon.
DVDs.
DVDs are stolen from the local library.
Oh, yep.
And they were secondhand copies of Rush Hour 2.
Oh, great.
It was just Rush Hour 2.
This time it's
Many
personal.
copies of that one film.
It's just the first time we're thanking Nathan Damon here.
No, I've messaged him, but he has now either got 2 accounts or there's another Nathan Damon in WA because they're from different cities.
Oh my gosh, hello Nathan Damon too.
He might have moved.
He might have moved, but he's still got 2 current Patreon accounts.
Yeah,
Wow.
interesting.
So it could be separate people, or it could be the Rush Hour 2 of Nathan Damon.
Yeah, or don't let him know that he's paying you double and he doesn't realise it.
I did DM him, but he at time of recording hasn't got back to me. Either way, look, just in case it's a different Nathan Damon, thank you, Nathan Damon too.
Thank you, Nathan Damon too.
Next up from Diamond Beach.
I don't know how he'd feel about being called Nathan Damon 2.
Okay, Nathan Damon as well.
Nathan Damon Prime.
What about Nathan Damon 1? But Nathan Damon original is just without
What
any
about
number.
Nathan Damon 108?
Oh, that's good.
Like that building we were just
That's
talking
a really
about.
tall building.
So from Diamond Beach in New South Wales, Australia, I'd love to thank Finn.
Finn stole dolphins.
Dolphins, wow. And you're never going to believe it. From the local library.
Yeah.
And the dolphins were named after Echo the Dolphin from the Sega Mega Drive video game.
There's multiple dolphins all named Echo. Very confusing.
That's confusing.
Next up, address unknown. Can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. I'd love to thank Mel. Just gleaning off her email address without doxing her. It could be Melanie with initials maybe RV.
Yeah.
It did feel like you were about to spell out the rest of it. Thank goodness you did. Mel has stolen.
A tank. Like an army tank.
Like a military
tank.
Wow. Stolen
My
from
dream to drive a tank.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be
Beautiful
so
dream.
fun.
stolen from a local primary school where it was used as a playground. And they thought, there's no way you can get this thing going. It doesn't even have the engine anymore.
But Mel found a way.
And it's full of the cast of Brad Pitt's Fury, who is still in the tank hanging out.
Wow.
No one thought to look inside.
Thanks so much, Mel. Next up from Bayswater in Western Australia again. Holy shit, very Australian week this week.
Very Western Australian one.
Very Western Australian. I'd love to thank Jess, is this Irish? Kiara Gifford?
That's Kiara.
Kiara Gifford. What did they
Kiara
steal?
Gifford stole the Irish Crown Jewels.
Oh my gosh, the Irish Crown Jewels. And they were being exhibited in Melbourne's Fed Square. They thought
At the local Fed Square.
No one's going to come and steal these, you know.
And these are still missing, aren't they? So that
They
was
turned
wild
up-
that Australia got a hold of
Turned
them.
up for one day and they got stolen again.
And they were
Amazing.
exhibited by Exhibit himself, who was filming an episode of Pimp. You're right, Australia.
Pimp your jewels.
You officially been pimped.
Imagine he's getting these jewels are a bit drab. Let's pimp them up.
We got to install a few PlayStation 4s in the bottom of them.
It is. These cars are now undrivable.
Yeah, we replaced the wheels with fish tanks.
Next up from Penrith, home of the Panther in New South Wales in Australia. Please, thank you. Please and thank you to Rebecca Johnson.
Please, thank you. Rebecca Johnson actually stole my heart.
Oh,
My gosh.
where was that, Dave?
I actually had it. It was under my bed.
Oh,
I'll store it for later.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I had, you know.
Did you have it in a box or anything, or just loose under there collecting
was
oh
loose.
leaves?
no, the rest of Jess was also there.
I put a mattress down.
It's a bunk bed.
And Lisa Simpson was atop of it, screaming, "It's the beating of the hideous heart."
Yeah,
I mean, I think I hear something.
my heart is pretty hideous, actually.
Next up, also from address unknown, can only assume, once again, deep within the fortress of the moles. Please and thank you, shit, Peter Moffat.
Please.
Please and thank you, shit. Peter Moffat stole a caravan.
A caravan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
There was
like one of those fancy ones that has like a full queen-size bed
Full
and like a little
queen-size-
dining table. It's got a toilet and everything.
Was that in your mind from earlier when we talked about Melanie RV?
No, honestly, here's the thought process.
Okay.
I looked at your coffee cup and I went to say like coffee cup, and then I thought like barista, and then I was like, you know how sometimes baristas are in little mini caravans.
Oh, that's
like, and
that's
then I
beautiful.
said caravan.
Getting a glimpse behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's very literal.
What a beautiful mind.
And the
what a beautiful
caravan
glimpse.
was stolen from the Melbourne Car Show. They thought they'd never get it out of Jeff's shed, but someone backed in there. They put it on the back of the trailer, and everyone went, well, I imagine that they're allowed to be doing that. That's fine.
You got to move
Get
these
it
things.
out of there. And
And it was the same caravan from the film RV starring the late Robin Williams.
wow.
And JoJo.
That's why people were just taking photos of it as it left.
Next up from Akron, Ohio. Bloody hell, right in the heart of God's country there and Tire country. It's Jessica Parent.
Jessica Parent stole a very rare parakeet.
Wow, and they stole that parakeet from the Melbourne Car Show.
Wow.
No one's expecting it to arrive or be stolen.
And it was the same parakeet from the film Paulie with that talking bird that went on an adventure.
Oh, you haven't thought about that in a long time.
I only
Marcel-
learnt recently that parakeet is a budgerigar. So it's a parakeet. There you go, fun fact.
I have to go collect our lunch from downstairs.
Oh.
So,
Marcel,
I was
Marcel, do you
going
wanna
to
step
say you
into
could
the big
stay
shoes?
and come up with
Okay.
the things they've stolen.
Sure.
I should have just sent you to get our lunch.
I'm happy to be a lunch boy. Remember getting a lunch order when you were a kid? Like, were you ever the lunch monitor? Go down and put the lunch
Oh.
monitor
It was
orders
like
in?
a tub full of little brown paper bags.
Yeah.
With,
A tub
coins
full
inside.
of little brown paper bags is a great name for like a jazz band or something.
Okay, I've got
Dave
a little
Warnocky
pet
in
peeve.
the tub of brown paper bags.
A little pet peeve of mine on podcasts is people doing that'd be a great name for a band jokes. Okay. It's old hat. It's a bit hack. I think it's time to move on.
He has got you. And also will halve our podcast by about 80% per week.
Next, I'm ruling out portmanteaus. So
No. Hey, that sounds a little bit like this.
imagine if those two words were mushed together. Just two more to thank from Ottawa in Ontario, Canada. Please, fucking hell. Thank you to Kelly Petite.
She stole a range of
Rovers.
Smarties that
Smarties.
were all one particular colour.
Smarties, of course, being the chocolate. I'm not sure if they have those in Canada, but stolen from my lunch order.
Oh my goodness.
Get out of it. Get out of it, Kelly. Now I just have to have a half cheese roll, which is what I used to get because I did not eat very much in primary school. Half a cheese roll.
Why don't you just get a full cheese roll and have the rest later?
Great.
Smarties are sold primarily in Europe, Canada, South Africa, Australia, and the Middle East.
Beautiful. Well, you know what you're doing, Kelly, when you stole my Smarties and left the half cheese roll for me to have. That's the worst bit. I was having a little bit of joy at the end and Kelly's just swooped in there.
Why do I keep going to say please? I think
Please, thank.
I think it's in the I say please welcome in the triptych club
but I
maybe.
think it makes sense to say please thank because we're all here to thank.
Okay, great.
Please
okay.
thank.
Because I appreciate that. And
manners.
finally, from Pensacola, Florida, please thank Pedro.
A collection of rubber stamps.
A collection of rubber stamps stolen from the Smithsonian because they're not only any rubber stamps, they were once owned by Abraham Lincoln's dad.
Whoa.
Johnny
What?
Lincoln.
Johnny Lincoln, the big dog himself.
Yeah.
He built the
Johnny
wooden
Lincoln
cabin.
in the tub of brown paper bags.
Don't say it.
Pedro is a cool name. It's both words mean can be numbered to find things. All right, so thanks so much to Paige, Kelly, Jessica, Peter, Rebecca, Kiara, Mel, Finn, and Nathan. Finally, the last thing we need to do is welcome some people into the Triptych Club. There's quite a few this week, and
Whoa.
You guys are crushing it.
Oh, shit.
Dave, are
Well
you
done.
ready to go? So, Jess, can you explain what the Triptych Club is quickly?
Absolutely. The Triptych Club is for people who have supported us on the shout-out level or above for 3 consecutive years, and we welcome them into the club. Once you're in, you cannot leave, but you don't need to. We've got everything you need to survive.
Lock the gates.
Yeah, the gates are locked. You are going to have to quit your job and leave your family, but it is worth it because we have different bands performing every week. I'm behind the bar. I've got cocktails and food and anything you could possibly need. Matt lifts the velvet rope,
the
welcomes you
clipboard.
in.
Jess, what is the drink you're doing this week? What is the Perth Mint Swindle?
It's that that vodka that has like gold in it.
Oh, yeah.
I got that.
And a bit of creme de menthe.
Nah,
From the film Superbad.
I just have the gold
Okay.
vodka.
No mint. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And Dave, you booked a band?
You're never going to believe this, Marcel. I book these acts because they're international. Sometimes some of them have been dead for many years, so it takes a long time to confirm that they are going to come along. You're never
Yes.
going to believe this week.
Exhume them.
I have to exhume them. We have to get the paperwork signed off. And this week, dropping by, it's the duo Mint Royale.
Whoa.
Mint Royale. What
we
are the
got
chances?
Mint Royale.
We got Mint Royale.
Holy shit.
Love that song, Blue Song. Love that song. So they'll be playing that in a bunch of
Love that
hits.
song, Blue Song. Love that song, Blue Song. Love that song, Blue Song. Uh-oh. We've lost him now.
He's in a loop.
All right, so I think that means I'm ready to go. Dave's going to hype them up once I read out the names. Dave sort of uses wordplay, usually pretty weak.
Watch your fucking language.
It's not weak at all.
Marcel and Jess are here to really just support Dave and what he's doing.
Please
Hype
hype me
him
up.
up.
I need this.
We've
Yeah,
got
I can
you.
do that.
We got you.
He works, just for new listeners, he works off either the city name of the place or their name. And he just does
What else have I got to work
Does
with?
it.
Anytime you have to do it, you talk for 4 fucking hours for each person. So I
Do it.
pipe down
Sorry.
and let him do his thing. Thanks.
I just appreciate Matt sharing the sass around a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just reading between the
Matt's
lines.
a bitch to everyone.
Just reading between. That's a character I played. Just reading between the lines. Jess, are you asking me to take over this week? or-
Absolutely, abso-fucking-lutely not.
All right, are we ready to go, Dave? You know I love what you do. This is just a character I play. I'm a heel.
disgusting.
I'm a heel.
He breaks down and apologizes after every episode to me.
He's
And I say,
disgusting.
okay, just don't do it again.
Well,
he says, I promise. I
doesn't
promise next time I'll have your back. You're my best friend.
Last time after Marcel was on a Who Knew It, I think the next day I'm like, was that joke mean or did that come across wrong? And I said, hey, Marcel, great work yesterday.
Yeah, it was the nicest message I've ever I framed it. I printed
Fantastic.
That's lovely.
All right, because you are
Read the names.
you are very fun to make fun of, Marcel. Anyway, so please welcome in from
character I
Torquay
play.
in Devon in Great Britain, Gareth Jones.
I'm jonesing for a Gareth.
Woo!
it. Nailed it.
Thank you so much. There was a bit of a,
Yeah, Marcel.
Yeah,
Satisfied.
all right. Oh,
Marcel's thinking like me and he's talking like Jess. I get it. So
very good, very good.
next up from Glasgow in Great Britain, Scotland, I reckon, particularly Martin Coots.
Glasgow on in, Martin.
Oh, go on in, Martin.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Hello.
From address unknown, can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. Please welcome in Maddie. Surname starts with A.
Maddie, you absolute baddie.
Ooh,
Which I
Maddie,
believe-
she a baddie.
I believe young kids use that as slang. Am I
You've
correct in
ruined
saying
it.
that?
You've ruined it immediately. If you just lent in.
No footnotes.
No footnotes. If you just lent in and said you're a baddie, you would have sounded so cool.
Yeah, but Matt, I need to explain to this guy. He's 50,000 years old.
I'm like, Maddie and what? Who's the goodie? From Harvard in Massachusetts.
Oh my god.
in the United States. Please welcome in Michael. Michael. Did I say Michael Hill Jewelers? No, Alex Hill.
There's only one hill I'll die on, and that's Alex Hill.
Yeah, have it.
Wait,
That's
what?
good. You didn't want to do any Harvard references.
And you're going to die on Alex?
Excuse me. Move on.
Sorry.
This is why if I said baddie before and didn't say anything, he would have had one of these things.
That's a goodie.
That's a stupid thing
to say.
Salagius from Cagliari in Italia.
Nailed all of that.
Vitali Sparacello.
A big hello to Vitali Sparacello.
Oh.
I think I nailed all that a time. It's in my blood.
Or
From Stone.
Vitali, Vital. Looks like Vital written down.
All right, just having a second bite of the cherry. I don't know what Jess thinks of that. From Stone's Corner in Queensland.
you.
That's in Brisbane. I'm sure there's a gig there that I've done before.
Shut
It's
up.
Amber Fielder.
Take me to the field. It's Amber.
Yes.
Fielder.
From address unknown, can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. Please welcome in Carl Burnson.
Carl Burnson.
I'm Burnson.
Yeah, I'm Burnson for you, Carl.
Oh, a bit of
I'm on
fancy.
fire. I'm on
good.
fire.
Hot, hot.
He's actually sweating right now, listeners.
Yeah,
Good
it's
stuff.
quite warm in the room.
The cashmere jumper is very hot in here.
It's
Final
warm.
3 now from Traralgon here in Victoria, Australia. It's Levi Odgers.
I was about to Levi because I thought I was about to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, we got it.
Even Jess is turning on you now.
I was about to leave because I thought this night sucks. I'm
The
over
real
it.
Jess is coming out.
Sorry.
I'm going to have to let the real me out. Dave, I'm loving what you're doing. It's fantastic.
I was about to leave. Would you believe? Would you believe? I was about to. Oh, I believe I. That's better.
That is so
That's
good,
so
Dave.
much better.
I love
I
that
believe
very
I
much.
knew.
From Croydon and maybe Surrey in Great Britain, please welcome in Mitch Barrett.
Have a carrot, bitch.
It's like you knew you were waiting for that one.
And finally from Sorrento
You're dressed like a
in
carrot.
I am. It's orange.
Florida in the United States, please welcome in, Jess, please, a bit of respect for Caleb Sellers.
Caleb Sellers, I'm buying, baby.
Oh, that's good. Stuck the landing.
Welcome into the clubs. Make yourselves at home. Please grab one of those gold vodkas. Caleb, Mitch, Levi, Carl, Amber, Vitali, Alex, Maddie, Martin, and Gareth.
Enjoy Mid Royale. Love that blue song. Love that blue song.
And I think that brings us into the episode. Anything we need to tell people before we go? Either Marcel or Jess.
Thanks for having me. If you want to hear what Matt was talking about, Comedy Writers Group on Instagram, and you can see my pearls of wisdom.
If you also want to feel
angry about your work.
Well, not angry, but if you just want to feel, like you got the inside word of how to be snooty about comedy, go to the King Snoot himself, Marcel
like
Blant to Smoot.
I think I like it. I like every post.
Speaking of sticking the landing, I did not there. We'll fix that in post.
Marcel Blant to Snoot.
Hey, if you want to suggest a topic, you can. There's a link in the show notes. It's also on our website, which is dogoonpod.com, where you can find info about live shows and merch and all sorts of fun stuff like our other podcasts that we do. And you can find us on socials at dogoonpod as well. Dave, boot this baby home.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another episode, but until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Later.
Bye. Mitch Barrett, have a carrot.